Heyo, let's do it, everybody. Let's do it. Come on. Come on, let's do it. No time to waste. If you're going to waste anything, Don't let it be time. Heyo. Who's with me? Come on now, everybody. Let's not take ourselves too seriously. Everybody wants to be so serious. Everybody's so important. I'm important. So am I. Me too. Very likely, you're not as important as you think you are. I mean, relatively speaking. I mean, we're all special. We're all special little snowflakes, apparently. No two snowflakes are the same. So, but, in relation to others, you're probably really not that special. It's time to get out of your imaginations, everybody. Get into the now. We all want to be the little special boy, the little special girl, the little prince, the secret king. But you're not that special. I hate to break it to you. Like, at some point in history, like, two people had sex, and then you came out, like, almost 10 months later. Not really that special. People want to make like childbirth, being a parent so special. People say, "Oh, I'm a parent," or they'll say to me, "Well, Z, you're not a parent, so you wouldn't know." And I'm like, "What does that give you? Like some kind of special status amongst humans because you fucked and you slipped one past the goalie, and a kid popped out like 9.5 months later." Come on. That's not special. You're not doing anything different than any other animal. You fucked, and then a baby came. It's not special. You don't have a special status because you're a parent. Give me a break. Tired of it. Who's with me? Anyway, let's get the show started. I can't just sit here and yammer away to myself all morning. I see you guys down there in chat. Take it easy. All right, let's start this show. Let's start it. Might as well. We're all here. Even Illumitommy's here. Everybody loves Illumitommy. Not everybody, but more and more, Illumitommy's becoming a crowd favorite. All right, let's get this show on the road, so to speak. Okay, there I am. Now I know I'm here. See, before I didn't know if I was here or not, but now I know because my camera's on. For those of you just listening, I'd imagine a lot of people just listen to my show, which is good because I create the show. It's formatted, structured to for listening because I want people to be able to do stuff and listen. What's up, Green Man? Green Man says, break it on down. Green Man, somebody blocked you. I had to unblock you a couple days ago, man. I don't know if you noticed that. It actually led me to pull some wrenches because it was like, who blocked Green Man? The guy's like cool, as far as I could see. And I was like, why is Green Man blocked? So I pulled a bunch of wrenches. I didn't pull everybody's wrench. You need wrenches, but you'll notice less wrenches because somebody blocked Green Man. I'm like, what's up with that? Anyway, Much love, Green Man. Good to see you back in the chat after I unblocked you. All right. I got to do the opening. Can't just start talking to you guys. When's my producer? All right. We're ready for the opening? Good. Official opening in 3, 2. Good morning, everybody. At Grand Rising and Grand Approach. Well, welcome back to the show that never ends. I'm your host, the Tedic Warrior. You can call me Z. And we're broadcasting live and in living color all around, as Illumitami would say, the disc world, Earth. Illumitami thinks we all think it's a disc. Anyway, welcome, friends. Welcome. Now I can go say hi to the chat. Let's see who's here. I already said hi to Illumitami, the king of the Spurg. You guys think Zetetic Warrior can Spurg? Wait till you check out Illumitami if you haven't seen him yet. He's the Spurg master. He's the king of the Spurg. Which I figured out. I think Spurg derives its... I think it comes from the term like Asperger's. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I could be wrong, but... Which is a term that's not really in vogue anymore. You don't really say somebody has Asperger's. You just kind of say they're on the spectrum. It's called the PDD spectrum. The pervasive developmental disorder spectrum. That's basically what they call autism now. But of course they have to put disorder, you know. Let's label everybody. You have a disorder. Why not just call it Asperger's? Why not just call it nothing? Why does it have to be a disorder if you're different? Because you can't sit there, focus, paying attention in a stupid classroom where they're just brainwashing you anyway. You shouldn't pay attention. Why are they labeling all these kids with ADD? You should have ADD. That's actually normal. You should be labeling all the kids who sit there like little drones and get programmed. Label those kids. Why don't you label them? Anyway, I'm going off the handles. What do I know? Who's here? The optics are high. Hashtag snafu. What's up, snafu? 3 fingers. Much love. Capricorni in the house. Ruled by Saturn. Calvin Mob. Heidi. Divine Spirit 313 in the house. She said she's been up since 4:30 a.m. Well, I actually had you beat. I think I've been up since like 3 or 3:30. Sometimes I just wake up early, guys. It happens. Pamela's Mystical Musings. Much love, much love. Dave Oliver in the house. Steve, the HMFIC. NJ Jeep Girl. My home state. NJ coming at us. No in the house. Graffiti Tattoo. Good morning to you too, sir. Bane Bear. Here with us again this morning. Dave Oliver. I don't know if I said hi to you. NJ Jeep Girl says, Z, part of 3, your table's ready. Party of 3. Never take the job. Cool name and good advice. I already said hi to you, Green Man. I want to know more. I don't know. I want to know more. It's a good name, but do we really want to know more? Like, it kind of seems like we know enough. I think we know too much. I don't think we're meant to handle the things many of us here know, so to speak. Hashtag know. K-N-O-W. I don't want to know more. Sometimes I wish I knew less. I don't know. Maybe we know too much. Who knows? I think I said how to rule by Saturn. Hard hitting in the house. Much love, much love. J Craft says vaccine damaged. Well, could be one way to put it. Casey in the house. She's been up. She got up early this morning too. Must be one of those mornings. And what's up? What's up to you too? It's July 6th. Here it is, anyway, where I live. Um, it's been hot. It's been humid around me, muggy. I went out this morning. I went outside. The sun was coming up, and just muggy, like 100% humidity. Just weird. I don't know what's going on. Um, but the weather's the weather. Who knows? I don't know what they're doing. The sun seems more intense to me, guys. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed this or if it's just me, where like when I'm outside on a sunny day, like I was out yesterday or the day before or whatever, and it was like 91 degrees, the temperature, but like above and beyond that, when I'm out in the sun with no protection, it just feels more intense. I don't mean necessarily the temperature. I mean the sun like feels like burny or something. Um I don't know what it is. Like I don't know what's going on with the sun. Robot Saturn says it's blazing. Yeah, like I'm not talking about climate change, global warming. I'm talking about the intensity of the sun's direct rays when it hits my skin. It feels like more, it feels stronger. Right. Robot Saturn says before it used to be pleasant. I agree with that. Why is the sun like more intense? I don't really care what they tell me. I could feel that it's more intense. Like it's just up there. Like you can't really look anywhere near it anymore. It's just, is it brighter? What does Pamela say? She lives in Arizona. She says the heat from the sun does feel more intense. I notice it every day when I water the garden. Right. What is up with that? Mark Basket says the white sun's rays is different from the yellow sun. Right. A lot of people say that it's more white now. What some of us old enough to remember more of a yellow sun. This fucking white sun seems more intense. Whatever it is, guys. I don't really know the mechanism behind it. We can speculate all we want. They'll probably tell us it's like the breakdown of the ozone layer. They say we have an ozone layer, or to believe it. I don't think I believe it.
I missed that. Could you say it again?
Why is my Siri pop on when I say certain things? Shut up, Siri. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I have an old iPhone. It's not hooked up. Like, I don't have a phone number right now, which I kind of like. I kind of like not having a phone. But when it's hooked up to Wi-Fi, it works. Yeah, guys, the sun's more intense. It just is. Now we could speculate on the mechanism all we want. It's like they just turned up like the wattage on the sun, so to speak. It's very strange. What are you guys saying about it? Hard hitting says everyone used to color the sun yellow when we were kids. I sure did. Um, Graffiti tattoo 40 years ago, bright yellow sun. You guys are coming in with the info. NJ Jeep Girl says moon used to be yellow too. That's why they say it was made of cheese. It's called July Summer. LOL. No, I get it that it's hotter in the summer, Emilios, man. I'm saying relatively speaking to other summers. I remember what it was like being a kid, Emilios, running around as a kid, even on a perfectly sunny day with not a cloud in the sky. Remember what the sun felt like. I remember being on the beach, running around. You didn't just get burned instantaneously after like 10 minutes, man. It's the intensity is different. Pamela said she went tubing the other day, got bad sunburn. You know? Joe Nugent thinks it's going to go through another color spectrum. Calvin Moff says, Z, I was thinking that yesterday. I've been in Taiwan 20 years. Never before felt so oppressive. Graffiti tattoo says bright white sun. Joe from Epped Up World in the house. He says, Enoch said it would be more intense in the end days. No, you said it, Joe. Heidi said she used to be outside all day. And Jeep Girl says she knows why, but she can't say for whatever. And Three Fingers points out the chemtrails. Right. Why is the sun more intense? Did they know it was going to happen? Is that why they started giving us like the depletion of the ozone? They were talking about the depletion of the ozone like in the early 90s, maybe even earlier, but that's when I remember the conversation. And apparently the depletion of the ozone is not greenhouse gases. They present it as two different things. Greenhouse gases are, of course, carbon dioxide and methane. The gases build, and they say it traps in more heat. But that wouldn't make the sun more intense. We'd feel more heat, but why does the sun itself feel more intense? Was that the whole depletion of the ozone story? Because they say ozone is O3. Okay? It's not oxygen, it's not O2, it's not, but it's O3, whatever that fucking means. And they say there's like a layer that protects us from the sun's rays of this ozone, and that we're somehow depleting it. There were certain, I guess, chemicals that we were apparently, like aerosol, they got us all hyped up about when everyone used to use hairspray back in the 80s and early 90s. You know, when I went to school, guys, in the early 90s, girls were still like hairspraying their hair. And that was apparently bad. Aerosol. It's killing the ozone and whatever else. Air conditioners. They were saying air conditioners were producing something that was destroying the ozone layers or the ozone layer. And it was. But are we buying this ozone story? I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, who knew? Fucking hot ass sun, man. It's crazy. Yeah. And Enoch said it would be more intense in the end days. It seems like it, man. It's like they prepared us for it. It's weird. What else you guys saying? Yellow sun, blue sky, green grass. Right. Sun's certainly not yellow now. Yeah. Hairspray and McDonald's made the ozone hole. CFCs, graffiti tattoo. That's right. CFCs. It's like chlorofluorocarbons, I think was the term they were giving us graffiti tattoos. CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, I think. Oh, yeah. Calvin Moff says ozone is one of his favorite smells. When you get a whiff of ozone, I think ozone, like when you open up a tennis, if you get tennis balls, they come in like a container that's like air sealed. When you open it up, I think they put ozone in there. That whiff you smell is ozone. Right. Aerosol sprays, and everyone was going to have cancer by 2000, they were saying. Who knows really what's going on? You know. Genjo says in Revelation, people are scorched by the heat of the sun. You remember that Soundgarden, the rock band Soundgarden? In the early 90s, they had a song and a music video. It was called Black Hole Sun. Yeah. Black hole sun, won't you come? I remember being a kid and watching it. It was like something would happen to the sun in the sky, and then everything would melt. The people started melting. Their faces would just melt. What were they telling us? Predictive programming, anyone? There's a lot of narrative that there's a second sun, that there indeed is a black hole sun, a black sun. The Aryans, the early Aryans, when I say Aryans, I don't mean like Mr. Mustache Aryans. I mean the Hindus were preceded by the Vedics, who apparently were preceded by the Aryans, one of the earliest cultures we could even imagine. Maybe even predated the Sumerians somewhat. Anyway, they spoke of a black hole. That's why you see the black hole iconography with the so-called Aryans, this black sun, I should say. Some people speculate that if we do live in a level horizontal realm, like a plane, some speculate there's another side to this plane that we live on, like a flip, like a different type of Earth, and there's a black sun that periodically blends into our reality, our realm, in some way. It was presented to the truth community years and years ago, before the whole flat Earth thing launched back in 2015. They presented it as like a dead sun, like a dark star. It was being called Nemesis, Wormwood, etc., etc. Oh, always associated with stories of, Nibiru, etc., etc. But they're consistently, whatever the model they're using, they're presenting us with this idea of a second sun, a dark or a dead sun, dark star, so to speak. And why do we have so many stories about the second sun, black hole sun, black sun? What is it in our history? Why this emphasis? Why so much of this occult knowledge and these occult ritualistic practices of the mystery schools? Why was so much of it based around this black sun? Well, what can that be really? Is there anything to it? Even if you remove the stories from the heliocentric model, because many of the stories of the Sumerians, when they present this world, this so-called Nibiru, they present it through a heliocentric model. Planets, solar system, binary star, twin star, dead star, red sun. But let's take it out of that model. Let's just take it from a model that we could at least observe. That there appears to be times in history where we see new and different heavenly bodies. It's really just cycles within cycles, guys. We know we see comets that come through periodically. We know we see certain astrological alignments that could be predicted. We can predict the damn eclipse cycle with extreme accuracy. Look, they knew the eclipse cycle, which is apparently like an 18-year cycle, throughout antiquity. It wasn't heliocentrism and modern science and technology that discovered the 18-year lunar cycle. It was known through many cultures throughout history, in the Central and South Americas. The ancient Chaldeans documented. They called it a zero cycle. The Greeks, the Egyptians, they knew the heavenly cycles. Well, if it is cycles within cycles, gears within gears, wheels within wheels, this reality seems to be cycles within cycles, systems within systems. Look at your body. Anything that's alive, this reality appears to be alive. So would it be so crazy to think that they knew of this larger cycle? Whether it is more like you see with the Sumerians, a 36,000 year cycle that's embedded within larger cycles that in some way go into these, maybe like these larger cycles, 10,000 years, 25,000 years. They say we have a precession of the equinox, which is roughly 26,000 years. It's just another example of just a larger cycle. Now think about it, guys. We have our days. We have the moon cycle. We have our year. We have the zodiacal cycles, basically, the zodiac, where we move through every year. We just go through the zodiacal cycle. Like everyone says, what's your birth sign? It has to do with where the sun is during the year. The particular position of the sun within the zodiac or the cosmos tells us which month it is. So the zodiacs will tell us the month. But there apparently appears to be a larger cycle, the so-called precession of the equinox. They're telling us that we're basically wobbling slowly over 26,000 years, that Earth is on a tilt and that we wobble. I don't know. I don't think there's any evidence of that, but there may be evidence of this larger precession of the equinox. Maybe it tells us something. Maybe when we enter certain times within that, that precession, things happen. Periodic cataclysms, some degree of frequency and periodicity. I don't know. There's a lot to it. Whether or not there is this precession of the equinox, I think remains in question. Wouldn't surprise me if there was. If there is truly a precession of the equinox, they do say that our North Star changes. It was apparently Thuban at some point. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. Either way, it's interesting, guys. To me, at least. To me, it is. I pulled something up this morning. I wanted to show everybody. Let's take a few minutes. I was thinking back, like, I'm having like nostalgia lately. I don't know what it is. And I was thinking back and I was remembering the first time that I was ever introduced to Mr. Jack Talcott. And I actually went back in history and I found it. This will only take a minute or two. But I wanted to take a little trip back in time. And I at least thought it was interesting. So I'm going to play for you guys the very first time that Zetetic Warrior met Jack Talcott. Because things happen. Hold on. What are you saying, Illumitami? I'm not ignoring you. He said Z ignoring because he knows it's coming. Yeah, I am familiar with Billy Carson, Mateo. I was on him a while ago. I haven't seen him in a while. What are you talking about, Illumitami? You're in full Spurg mode this morning. Because he's explaining so much globe, right? So Tommy thinks as I talk about the precession of the equinox, it means it's a globe. I don't want to go there with you, Tommy. I want to watch my little Jack Talcott clip. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's revisit the time that where Zetetic Warrior met Jack Talcott. It was on the We Are Awake TV channel. And I just want to point something out after we watch this, or I'll point it out now, is the way Jack is, Jack like has a method to his madness. He appears to sort of sit back, Mr. Talcott, I'm talking about you, and observe different creators. And he tries to identify like certain creators, and then he sort of focuses on them and gets his little Talcottian hooks in them. And I wanted to give a little example here of how Jack found me. Anyway, this is just a little nostalgic trip back in time. Everybody enjoy, and I'll be back to talk to you guys in a few moments. Take it away, Ian, Z, and Jack. Also, guys, let me know how the volume is, because I'm still working my equipment out and stuff. Not like it's new equipment or anything, but I'm still learning the stupid StreamYards. All right, take it away.
In front of him. That's right in Luke. I mean, it just depends what verse you want to read and how you want to interpret it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adding someone on, guys. 1 second. Jack Telcott. Have you guys heard of Jack Telcott?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes, it's, much love. Welcome.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
really,
what's happening?
I want to say I enjoyed.
I've only ever seen. Hold on, I've only ever seen Jack in slow motion doing a laugh. That's the only. Look, he's doing it now, but he's just not doing it in slow motion. This is the only thing I know of. This is an inside joke that only maybe like 5 people just got, but Dick just got it. Like, nice to see you in real time speed, Jack.
Jack, I loved your interview with Lauren. You've got the patience of a saint, my man. You've got I don't know how many ways she could have phrased the same fucking question, looking and fishing for an answer, but I was sitting here laughing my ass off. I was like, oh my God. She wants him to say that so bad. And he
Dick, the stream just got interesting, Dick. Dick, the stream just got interesting.
Are you kidding me? I've been loving these discussions, man. These are what are giving me hope. Hearing people like this talk about having these discussions today, oh, man, it fills my heart.
Right on, bro.
Nice, Jack.
Awesome,
Jack,
man.
can you
right on, dude?
Jack, can you talk a little slower? I'm not used to seeing you. There it is. You got. He knows what I'm talking about. 90% of people have no fucking clue what we're talking about. But.
You know what? It's been a learning experience, and I've grown since then. This stuff you're talking about, that's the same path I'm on. And I don't know how to say your name, the Z guy.
Just call me Z, bro.
Z. I saw you on that other platform, and then saw your announcement, and that's how I discovered this. And seriously, I'm loving these conversations so much.
Cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. I always say this, and this. There he is, Mr. Jack Talcott. Notice how he does it, Mr. Talcott. He's like a sniper. He just goes around. He's like, ooh, this guy. And then he shows up. Very strange. I thought it'd be nice to revisit the old days. That was like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months ago-ish. Maybe 8. Not sure. We got a chance. That's when I met Jack. It was just 5 months ago, actually. 5 months. God, how time flies. It just shows how Jack's kind of doing his thing, man. What do you guys think about Jack? Is Jack forever linked to Paul, unslaved? Is that going to be a forever thing, or are we going to see a time where Jack kind of branches off, does his thing, and Paul stops talking about Jack? And where's all this going to go, man? Calvin Moff says Jack is a very strange case. Indeed. I speculate often, if Jack is not potentially some kind of like clone or android or kind of like a bot. I'm not sure Jack is completely human as such. I mean, I'm not sure, but there's things about Jack that are a little off, let's say. But who knows? He appears to have a history. He appears to have been married as a child. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Jay Kraft. I don't know. Maybe Jack's from somewhere else. So weird. Never takes Jeff says, wow, Dave, Z, and Jack all together. Must have found you guys right after this chapter. Yeah. Yeah, Tommy, Jack never really leaves. Tommy, you are going crazy this morning. I will say, Tommy, Tommy, the crowd seems to like you, bro. Tommy's rapidly becoming a crowd favorite. Interestingly enough, Tommy, you're you kind of like making an impression on people. Kind of like a rash that never really goes away. You know, or like herpes. It's always kind of there. Sometimes it flares up a little more than others. But you never really get rid of it. It's kind of like you, Tommy. Yeah. Hard hitting says nobody liked Jack in the beginning. He was boring and annoying. He's just Jack. He's not boring. I would just say he's not boring. He's not really annoying. He's his own entity. He's his own. He's in a class of his own, Jack. Really. Just like you, Tommy. You're in a class of your own. London Man loves Tommy. He still loves Tommy. He says Tommy's gold. It's hard to disagree with. Tommy has some radio gold qualities to him. Certain people just have that it factor for whatever reason. I'm not going to argue the globe with you, Tommy. We're not doing that. If somebody else wants to argue the globe, because Tommy thinks he lives in a globe, somebody else can do it. You can do it here if you want, but we've done it before with Tom. I'm not going to argue the globe with Tommy. I don't want to waste my breath. You know. It was interesting to see everybody up there. And we got to see Ian. Ian, where have you gone, dude? Where has Ian gone? Does anybody know? Do we want Ian to come back? Many of you know Ian. I want you to come back, Ian. Even though you trashed me for like a month before you left. You kind of squeezed the whole Z thing for all it was worth, and then you disappeared. A little weird, Ian, but I'm not going to hold it against you. Where's Ian, everybody? Hashtag where's Ian? Yeah, I know, never take the jab. I get it. These streets aren't easy, guys. Never take the jab says I broke his heart. What if he broke mine? Never take the jab. Note to self, don't get involved emotionally with the YouTube community. Well, by Saturn says Ian's so phony. Well, that's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. And your Jeep Curl says I can only handle Jack if Paul's around. That might be Jack's biggest issue right now. Is what NJ Jeep Girl just said. Is that can Jack make a claim on his own, pretty much? Who knows? Remains to be seen. Definitely remains to be seen. Yeah. London Man says, Tommy, I'll email you. London Man actually is bold enough to be on email terms with Tommy. Do me a favor, London Man, if you have my email, which I think you may, I don't know. Please don't let Tommy have my email. Please don't do that. I'll just ask you kindly and respectfully. I would prefer that Tommy not have any of my personal contact information. Very few people have it. Like Heidi has my email. And part of me, Heidi, don't take this the wrong way, but part of me even regrets letting Heidi have my email. And I love Heidi. But I'm just trying to prove a point that, like, I'm not really super inclined to have all you people with my email address. And that's email. Much less a phone number. Wouldn't want that. So I wanted to present this. She says, bottom bitch, oh no, I won't share. All right, I appreciate that, Heidi. Heidi, pay attention. And the rest of my faithful listeners and supporters. I'm thinking about going to weekdays only, no weekend shows. Give me your thoughts right now in the chat. Monday through Friday, no Z show on the weekends. Give me some feedback. Which I may just do it anyway. I'm not super inclined to really take everybody's feedback that seriously. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Roll by Saturn says sad, but okay. Weigh in on it, guys. And I'll explain my philosophy. 3 hours every single morning is there's a degree of energy that it takes to do this, which I'm fine with. But the other thing is it'll give people more time to catch up on the shows. There's people who really want to listen in. They want to be up to date on the show. They like to follow along. People get invested. And if I don't broadcast on the weekends, it gives people time. They could listen on the weekends. Because a lot of people, more than half my views come from replay, which makes sense. I stream very early in the morning. Heidi says more people can come on in the weekends. I get that, Heidi. Bane Bear says Monday through Friday is fine with him. What's Up says nothing wrong with taking a 2-day break in the weekend. That's a lot of work to do daily. That's when I get to catch you, Z. If weekdays, when I work 3 shifts, so it works for me. Right, Hard Hitting. See, you said it, Hard Hitting, as I was saying it. Certain people, when I used to just do weekdays, they would use the weekend because I would see my numbers. And I was like, oh, there's people who catch up on my show in the weekends. And Jeep Girl says, I don't catch you live anyway, so it's not my vote. Live Rock's okay with it. He says, give your space time to chill. Divine Spirit says, yeah, Z, I feel you need time off. All right. Snafu, why are you going off on Paul again here? Snafu, bro. I want to talk to you right now, Snafu. It's me and you, dude. Seriously. Snafu says Paul didn't do shit but prove he a pedo supporter. Triggered ho, hard hitting. I want to really talk to you in real talk, Snafu. Do you really believe what you just said there? And you know I like you, Snafu. But I want to be fair and honest with the things that we say. Snafu, when you come on here on my channel, in my chat, and you say Paul didn't do shit but prove he's a pedo supporter, I know, Snafu, that you don't believe what you're saying there. And I'm going to hold you accountable. And you can come up when I drop the link, Snafu. Don't go anywhere. And I actually would enjoy the conversation. I'm not trying to fucking come at you, dude. I'm trying to keep everybody real, dude. Do you actually believe that Paul's a quote-unquote pedo supporter? I don't think you do, man. For whatever reason, it seems like, Snafu, allegedly, it seems like, I don't know what your motives are, but you have it in for Paul. You want to go after him. So you're just going to make claims of pedo supporter. I don't believe you believe that, Snafu. I'm actually holding you accountable, Snafu, because you're just going with the narrative, which you tend to do. You know Paul's not a fucking pedo supporter and he's not a pogo. Why do you keep saying it over and over again, dude? And I'm not even trying to cape for Paul. You know, you guys know Paul hasn't been super nice to Z lately, which is fine. But why are you coming on, dude, saying things that I know you objectively don't believe in, Snafu? It undermines your credibility, dude. I don't know. Let's see what you're saying to me. Maybe you're talking to me in the chat as I'm going on. Look, you could feel how you want about people, Snafu, but just to make claims that you know that you don't really support, just to try to go after somebody, I think is a bit disingenuous. And I think it's bad faith. But maybe you know something I don't, Snafu. I don't know. Capricorn, he says, Z, take your weekends, basically. No need to be married to this. He says, give it a break. If I come on here, guys, and I do this 7 days a week, at some point, I think it'll get stale. I need you guys, like, kind of wanting more. I think a 2-day break, a 5 out of 7 days, 2 days break, because we're all programmed on that 5-day weekday and the weekend. I don't know. Part of me thinks I should give the weekend a break. I really do. All right, so Snafu said yes, he said it himself. Come on, Snafu. I'm not buying it, dude. I'm not buying what you're laying down, homie. Heidi says basically if I let Snafu up, she doesn't want him to yell. I could turn his mic down. Snafu said it again. He absolutely said it, Z. I'm not buying it, Snafu. You come off as a man who seems relatively intelligent. You seem like you have better discernment than that. He didn't say he's a pedo supporter. He was basically arguing against a mob mentality, Snafu. From what I saw, I could have missed something. Paul's saying that he wouldn't fucking, that he wouldn't murk a pedo in the street, dude. It's not saying you're a pedo supporter, dude. He seemed to be advocating for the rule of law, even if it's natural law, universal law, that you don't just have mob rule where you yeet somebody in the street based on an accusation. That's what I saw, dude. But you painting this narrative of pedo supporter doesn't hold weight with me. It doesn't hold water, bro. And I don't agree with it, dude. I'm being real with you, Snafu. It ain't flying in my book, homie. I don't know, Snafu. You're running with the narrative, dude. You keep saying he said it, he said it, he said it. I don't know, Snafu. Snafu said that's not what he said. Z, I'll prove it. I mean, I don't think you believe it, really, Snafu. Look, you can take people's comments out of context and probably paint whatever narrative you want. I'm just saying, Snafu, I don't believe in your heart that you actually believe what the fuck you're saying, homie. And that's telling me something about you, dude. Come on, bro. He keeps saying, not accusations. I'll show you, Z. I probably saw the same thing you're already going to show me, Snafu. I'm over it too, Heidi. I really am. Cocaine says Snafu, like most insane people, you don't understand satire. Well, I'm not claiming that Snafu's insane, but I will agree with you. The vast majority of people nowadays, they don't understand satire, which is strange. It really is. No, I don't think Snafu needs to be medicated or lobotomized. I'm not sure that's true, everybody. So yeah, guys, at this point, I'm leaning towards doing weekdays only. I don't know. I want it to be functional. I think there'd be more value if I gave it a rest on the weekends. Less people watch on the weekends anyway, that's not really what it's all about. It's not that much less, but I'm just trying to feel out the routine here. My gut instinct is telling me to take the weekends off from this. I'll probably go with it. So the tentative plan right now is to not stream on Saturday and Sunday. That's my tentative plan. Just so you know. So don't freak out, guys, when I'm not on Saturday. Prepare yourself. Because I know some people are very avid listeners. Mateo says, I like the Sundays, morning activity. Yeah, I don't know. Vibrating sound. Yeah. Robot Siren says, that's cool, Z. 5 days is good. I watched live, so nothing would change, really. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm leaning towards the 5-day thing. Whatever. I don't want to spurg out on it. Green Man said he liked my comments about the parade. I appreciate that. Right. Joe says, take the weekends off. It will refresh you for the weekday. I agree, dude. I don't want to feel like I'm obligated to this. It probably is not going to bring the best energy. I agree, Joe. Yeah. Can you, Manic, the metaphysician says, can you just do 1 day? I think you mean 1 day off. Now, I think 2 days off is going to be better. Heidi says, if you do a stream on the weekends, well, we will be surprised. Yeah. Yeah. Calvin Moff says it'll bring anticipation. Right. Calvin, that's probably one of the biggest factors is my intuition is you guys will get burned out on me if I was on here 7 days a week. I think those 2 days will be just enough to kind of keep things at that level of equilibrium and homeostasis. I do think at some point you can overexpose yourself, and I think 7 days a week might be too much. Like I said, current plan is to do that. I'm going to try something, guys. I'm going to try to play some music in the background as I'm talking. We're going to test this out. Let me know how the audio is as I play this. It's just a little experiment. Let's just take like a minute and try something here. Witness, yeah, Brielle's here. Says, don't overexpose yourself, Z. Witness, I'd like to see you maybe overexpose yourself a little bit. You know, expose yourself. Oh, look, Brielle and Christy Lee dolls pipe up at the same time. Brielle, when are you going to come up here and talk to me? I metaversally buried the hatchet with Thunder Chicken, mainly because Rose 777 made me feel bad about my interaction with Thunder Chicken. So I had to think about it. I'm like, maybe Rose is right. There's really no need for further discourse in the quote-unquote community. And I really don't have anything against Thunder Chicken. I'm right. He says he's a man on the land. I don't have any reason to disagree with him. He stands for rights and freedoms. But why do I need Thunder Chicken as an enemy? It's a Thunder Chicken. Things are cool. And I said that to him. He knows we buried the hatchet. But but when am I going to talk to you, Brielle? When are you going to come up? Maybe this morning when I drop the link. I always hold everybody in anticipation for the fucking link. But maybe, Brielle, you'll come up, you'll talk to me. I don't know. Maybe you and I can bury the hatchet. It's already been buried, everybody. But hold on. Let's take a minute before I move on and let me know how this audio is. Because sometimes I like playing things in the background for you guys, like sounds and music. But I've just been playing it over a speaker, then through my same speaker that picks up my voice. I'm trying to switch. So let me do something here. Let me know how this sounds, guys. I'm going to do share screen, blah, blah, blah. Go here. Share audio. I'm going to bring this up. All right. But I'm going to do this. All right. So I'm speaking right now. Can you guys hear piano music in the back right now as I'm speaking? Just say yes or no. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear the piano music? And then if so, how's the level? Let me know, chat. I'm trying to... Manic says yeah. And the classical works. All right. Now, whenever I do this, guys, if the music's overpowering, just let me know. You know, she says it's low. All right. But I kind of want it to be low. I just want it to sort of be in the background. And I could bring it up here. All right, guys. Appreciate that. Cool. Cool. I made it up a little bit. All right, guys. Elevator music. This is Bach. I never know. I don't know if they're going to hit me with copyright strikes, copyright claims. And now Manic Metaphysician says it's too high. Gotcha. We need to find that Goldilocks zone, you know? That same zone where Earth sits in to make it perfectly habitable. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to give me the feedback, guys. Nice. Let's you guys are giving me all kinds of feedback with the sound. Fair enough. We're learning here, guys. This is how you guys know I'm not Pogo. Yeah. Let's do this. Let me drop the link in the chat. I don't know, Brielle, if you want to come up and talk to me, we can talk. I'll be nice to you, Brielle. But anybody can come up. And I'll give you guys a chance to come up. I'll only do this. Let me read my science article that I have for you guys this morning, and then we'll welcome our guests. All right, let's do it. I'm having fun here this morning playing with my little things that I'm learning with my technology. Because as you guys know, I'm really doing everything live. And it's kind of a one-man show. I can see why people want producers on their show, but I don't think I'll ever get one on mine because I kind of want too much control. I don't think I'd be able to relinquish control over to somebody else to produce my segments. It would be too much for me. I kind of see that with Paul Enslaved. Like, I really don't see how anybody would be able to be a producer on Paul's show. Mainly because you can tell, like, it's really all Paul. You know, if I were to give him advice, not like he needs it, but I would just say, Paul, you don't really ever need a producer. You know, somebody like Mr. Talcott, sorry, Jack, if you're listening to this, but maybe a producer for Jack might benefit him somewhat. Not saying your shit's bad, Jack, but Jack's a little bit more standard in his presentation. You know, I could see Jack's show needed to be a little bit more polished. No offense, Jack. I don't know if you still listen to my show, but I don't want you to feel like I'm offending you in any way. But anyway, let's read the article. Let me read the article. And again, guys, let me know how the volume is if it's too weird. We're experimenting here this morning. Oh, I got some people in the back. What's up, Joe? Joe from Effed Up World, are you pressed for time or can you wait 5 minutes? Just let me bring him up. Joe, welcome back to the stream, dude.
What's up, Z?
What's up,
I can
homie?
wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm driving across Wisconsin right now, so I can wait. I got all the time in the world.
Cool. All right, let me put you in the back. Let me read my article, and I'll bring you back up. We'll talk to Joe from Effed Up World in a few minutes, guys. Cool. All right, much love, Joe. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let me do my article. If I go out of order, I get messed up, guys. If I go to the Joe is awesome, Christy Lee Dolls. And what else is awesome, Christy Lee Dolls, is you give us like new pictures of yourself like each day, and it helps me. God, why am I so into Christy Lee? Why am I, anyway. All right, guys, let me do my article. And again, can you guys hear the music in the background? Just let me know. Let me know if I need to adjust the volume. We're doing new things here this morning, guys. Anyway, let's read our science article for the morning. Oh, here you again, Whiska, because you're run by your PP. My PP, got it. You know what's funny, Whiska? You're the one who really has the dysfunction when it comes to sex, dude. You say you've been married for 27 years, but you're so hung up on any talk about sex. You're a strange dude. Gary Baxter says, because she's smoking hot, Z. I would agree. But I don't want to simp for everybody on my show. Who's Whiska? You're Whiska, dude. We all know it. Anyway, come on. I'm trying to focus. I want to read you guys my article. So here we go, guys. This is another science article that comes to us from our friends from NASA. Gotta love our NASA friends. Let's read it. This is from Gizmodo. It says, you up? Mars helicopter finally makes contact after 2 months of silence. I'll just read you a little bit of this article because there's something I want to point out that kind of, I don't know, strains credibility. After 63 days of agonizing silence, NASA Martian chopper finally phoned home. Yeah, everybody. Finally, the NASA chopper. So apparently, not only do we have multiple probes on NASA, but we have a fucking helicopter probe on NASA. Which is weird. Why would they need a helicopter probe? They kind of got all those other probes there without using like propeller technology. But now for some reason there's like a helicopter on Mars. I don't know. Weird. But let's keep reading. The Ingenuity helicopter reestablished communication with Mission Control on June 28th, officially logging its 57th flight as a success, NASA recently announced. So not only is there a helicopter on Mars, but it's like flying multiple times, 57 times apparently. That's a lot. Let's continue. The space agency lost contact with Ingenuity as the helicopter was descending towards the surface of the red planet, following its most recent flight on April 26th. The reason behind the communication drop was that a hill was inconveniently positioned between Ingenuity and its rover pal, Perseverance, or Perseverance, preventing the Martian pair from communicating with one another. Ingenuity relies on Perseverance to deliver its messages to Earth, using shiny antennas to exchange data at about 100 kilobytes per second. The data is routed from Ingenuity facing antenna to the rover's main computer before it's being transferred to Earth by way of an orbiting spacecraft. All right. So this is what they're telling you guys. I want you to really paint a picture here. There's 3 things that they just said are out in space that are connecting us to this fucking helicopter that they call Ingenuity. So one is the helicopter itself, Ingenuity, which apparently 57 times has used its propellers to take off and then land. That helicopter then transmits the information to this Perseverance, which is apparently like a rover. And then that rover transmits the data, apparently, which was new information to me until just now, to a some kind of orbiting probe. They say an orbiting spacecraft. So it goes from the helicopter on Mars to the rover to a orbiting spacecraft, then to Earth. But here's my question, and then we'll move on. Okay, you're going to give me the story, but I don't know, Joe from Effed Up World, maybe you can, I'm going to let you on in a second, Joe, if you're still listening. Maybe you can answer this one, because I certainly can't. They're telling me there's a helicopter on Mars. They're showing me a picture of it. But they also told me Mars has no atmosphere. That's why it's so hot when the sun's hitting it and so cold when it's in the shade. And that's why we apparently can't do things there. There's apparently no atmosphere, which means no air particles. Here's my question. How does a helicopter work without air particles and without a quote-unquote atmosphere? Because I don't know. I studied the principle of lift. I've studied airplanes and helicopters and how they lift, because it's demonstrable. You can do that. That's what science is. You demonstrate things. And I know there's something called the Bernoulli effect. I remember learning about it. That the principle of lift is based on the Bernoulli effect. That when these blades are spinning around rapidly, there's a certain process that happens where the air pressure changes, where there becomes more pressure below the blade and less pressure above the blade due to the movement of the blade. This pressure differential leads to the lift. Makes sense to me. But Joe, I'm going to let you up in about 2 seconds. How can this helicopter work on Mars if there's no air particles? Now, I don't know. Now, maybe they say there is some air particles or some particulate atmosphere, but it's much less. So the helicopter blade has to spin really, 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 really fast. But then I would say, do we really have the engineering and the technology to basically employ lift in such low atmosphere? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the way I am. I tend to ask questions, but if you're telling me there's a helicopter on Mars, but telling me Mars doesn't have an atmosphere, I'm just kind of wondering how that could work. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Joe from Effed Up World knows. Let's let him up. Joe, welcome back to the stream, dude. Do you know anything about this helicopter on Mars, dude? Maybe you know more than me. What's up, man? Welcome back.
Yeah, isn't it? It's called incredulity, right? Or is that what it's named?
Incredulity? It should be. Instead of wait, it's called hey, hold on. It's actually called
but
yeah.
Anyway, I think okay, so I might be wrong on the numbers, but I think first of all, I don't know how they would know what the atmosphere on Mars is like, if it's even a place, but 1% of the atmosphere that we have here on the Earth. So I was just thinking about it. I think like where I am right now, I think there's about 15 pounds per square inch of pressure.
Right. 14.7 psi at sea level. Yes.
So that would mean that Mars at the surface would be let's see. If it was 1%, it would be 0.147 pound. So about 1/8 of a pound per square inch. So then if we were to look at our gradient that we have here on the Earth, how high like at what altitude or elevation would 0.147 pounds per square inch be? That would be like up at the Kármán line or whatever, where you can't fly a helicopter.
Right. Dude, they can't even fly a helicopter to the top of Everest to do rescue missions, dude. So
DITRH was just talking about that. David Weiss was talking about that in one of his interviews or whatever. He was saying, because there's dead people on top of Everest, right? And they can't get them down just because it would be dangerous and hard or whatever to do. And so to me, I'm thinking, if they can't, like, why couldn't they get them down from Everest? Why don't they just take a helicopter up there? Oh, they can't. You can't fly a helicopter up there because the air's too thin.
So what's funny, Joe, is we can fly a helicopter on Mars where, like you said, the equivalent PSI, would probably be, like you said, the Kármán line, which is like 300,000 feet in the air, dude. You know what I mean?
Essentially no air.
Essentially no air. Basically, very little air pressure, which is basically air particles, atmosphere, so to speak. But if we can't, say, fly a helicopter above what, 10, 15, 20,000 feet, but you can design one to go on Mars, and we're supposed to believe that, dude? I don't think we can have the engineering to spin a propeller that fast to overcome that low amount of air pressure. London man, welcome to the stream, bro. Good to see you, homie. But here's the thing, Joe. Does NASA think about this stuff first and say, fuck it, we're just going to do it anyway because they're so dumb? Or do they present such a lousy and, like you said, basically incredible story to basically clown on us, dude? Are they just making fun of everybody, dude? Do they make the story bad on purpose? Go ahead, please.
They really believe it. They really believe it. Because I did look a little bit into that helicopter, and if you Googled how much they spent on that helicopter, it might make you puke. They obviously have to spin that thing really fast. But the funny thing to me is that I think no matter what they do in the sky, like wherever they plan on going, I mean, they've got their satellites that they designed to operate for 2 years, and they go 28 years, like that's not how things work. Maybe once in a great while something will work better than it's designed, but what I see is that, how many people have died working on space stuff? Not very many. Like in comparison to what like I would call it very dangerous or whatever they think they're doing. But it just seems like everything that they do up there just goes perfect or better than perfect. So it's almost as if it's just a big trap. Like if they think that there's that kind of atmosphere on Mars, I guarantee you they're gonna find there's that kind of atmosphere at Mars or whatever they, if they think they found water on Mars, they're gonna find water on Mars or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it's all just being fed by some other realm, like a different realm is feeding them exactly what they expect from a globe and a solar system. You know what I mean?
Which would mean, Joe, that there's not as many people, quote unquote, in on it as they would like us to believe, bro. Because, one of the sort of baby truth, if any, dude, one of the baby truth or understandings is like, okay, it's the secret societies, it's the elites, that they're all in on it and they're basically conspiring to deceive us. But with the understanding that you're presenting now, like you said, Elon Musk may actually believe that he's legit and he's blasting off to Mars and sending things to the space station, and they may being presented with a reality and fed to them that's even deceiving them, dude. It's possible. But London man, what's up, dude? You got any thoughts on the subject?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, peace and salutes to you guys. When you mentioned about the helicopter and Mars and stuff, the only reason why these things are even capable is because through my research, Mars is a location on Earth, right? This is why they can fly helicopters and these things in quote unquote Mars, because it's just another territory on Earth, right? And through my research, the territory seems to be the Middle East, right? This is where Mars seems to be, as they got all the references to the pyramids and the face on Mars and all these things, right? And the craters. I found all the craters that they seem to be pointing out as Mars. And we know where the pyramids are and the face. I've located the face a few months ago. I didn't actually know it was the face until, I actually thought about the face on Mars. And then, you put two and two together. If Middle East is Mars and the face that I found is in the Middle East, Africa. So the pyramids are in Africa, the face is in Africa. It's all Middle East. Mars is just Middle East through my research, and I landed there.
Interesting. I've heard other places like Devlin Island as being used as the for the Mars presentation and other stuff like that. Would be interesting, but based off Joe's understanding, it may indeed be even something else.
What about
Joe?
Sorry to cut you out. What if I was to say this? I think this would clear up like the way I'm thinking, and I know a lot of people are thinking this way as a possibility, because like what London just said is plausible also. Like, and what you said, Devlin Island or whatever. Like, we don't really know, but we know that it ain't some planet in the sky where they're going. But here's what I would say. This whole thing that we get accused or straw man as being a worldwide conspiracy and every scientist is in on it or every pilot's in on it. That idea, I don't think that's just an idea that other people say that we believe. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there's a single flat earther or whatever that's ever said, that's ever said anything about, like I had someone comment on my TikTok, so there's hundreds of millions of people hiding it or whatever. And I'm like, no one ever said that. No one ever believed that. No one thinks that. But I think that it's not a human conspiracy. I think it's a like a Satan conspiracy, or like a devil, like a demon, or whatever you want to call it, that our adversary conspiracy, not of human. I mean, this is just what I've come to believe, but I don't like. I think that the humans, like, you could say they're hiding space, or hiding the shape of the earth, or faking space. Like, I think that's all legit to say, but I don't know if we'll ever know, while we're here living our lives. I don't know if we'll ever know the entire picture, I guess. But I do think it's a conspiracy coming from people or things or whatever that are not human. I think the human race, everyone is just like us. We get up in the morning and, like, we kind of want to do the right thing. We love our families and all that. Like, I think that everyone is like that. And personally, I don't see someone, that's a high up at NASA or something. I don't see them getting up in the morning and going, I hope we don't get caught in the lie today, like that. But it's one of those things I don't really know.
Yeah, dude. Like, at a certain point, it becomes very difficult to comprehend. And I think we have to look outside of our bookends whenever we're, like, evaluating what's going on. Because it's easy just to say, oh, Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing and X, Y, and Z. And it's okay. That's probably true, but very simplistic. Probably too simplistic.
But what I like is I like the idea, just the idea. Like, all three of us might have a different idea of what's really happening, but at the same time, we're all in agreement that it's a lie. And I think that's God showing us. I don't think there's any other real how everyone, in our groups of people in the world could all of a sudden realize this all at the same time.
Hey Z, let me say this before I jump off there. With the Mars thing, what I just told you, right? I think I'm right to some degree, because I've even pulled up an old map of Mars, right? And on this map of Mars, they've got places like Syria, Libya, Damascus, and all these other places. How the hell would these places be on the map of Mars, bro?
Let me ask you, London man, what's the symbology behind that? If indeed they're presenting basically Middle East as Mars, or Mars as the Middle East, what do you think the significance is? What are they trying to tell us, dude? Is this biblical in some way? Does it go back to the motherland, Jerusalem? What do you think, dude? What's the link?
I don't know. I think maybe the Middle East, right, could have been the main focus of civilization to some degree. I don't know whether it's life, where that life began, but civilization, something they're hiding over there. That's why I think it got destroyed, obliterated. That's why the Middle East is no more standing with, excellent architectural work and everything. I think something happened over there and it disconnected us from it. But they go back over there for maybe paying homage or these type of things. I think, with Monsanto, is it Monsanto? Am I pronouncing it right? Monsanto? I think.
Yeah, Monsanto. Hold on, London man. Joe, do me a favor. Can you keep your mic muted until you speak?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, that's better. Much better. Hold on. Before you continue, London man, numbers dropping says Mars's war in the Middle East. That's a good point.
There you go. Salute to that. He knows, yeah.
Great
Salute
comment. Mars is the god of war. I mean, we're constantly being presented with this war in the Middle East thing. I mean, even back to Revelation in the Bible, constant strife in the Middle East as harbinger of a new time, a new beginning energetically, or the quote unquote apocalypse. Interesting connection there. I could definitely see that.
Garden of Eden Was that possibly in the Middle East? I'm not
Of
sure, but
course.
I think
No,
yeah.
you're right. You listen, I'm glad you said that because I've been looking into craters, right? And one of the craters over there seems to be crater Aden, not Eden, but Aden. So I've been looking into that, and it's very different over there, right? And that's the Middle East as well. So I think I'm onto something over in that direction.
Right. Very strange. Very strange. Let me ask you, Joe, from Effed Up World. We constantly see this fascination with the so-called planets. We're talking about Mars, but Saturn seems to be another one that's very, I don't know. It seems to be pervasive amongst these mystery schools, these occult practices. Saturn keeps coming up. Is there something about Saturn that makes it, in some way, I don't know, something unique about Saturn? That these elites are so interested in, even if it's the Israelites, even the Talmudic Israelites, even Islam. What is it about Saturn?
I'll
Well,
tell you one thing about Saturn is that, if you look at it like the way we were taught to look at it, you see like a little ball with rings around it or something, right? Or a little sphere with rings around it, or that's kind of the idea. Telescope or something, sometimes it looks just like an eyeball, like one eye, like an eye. I don't know if you've ever thought about that. It looks like an eye, like just an eye up there, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. I feel you there because I've been doing some work on the eye theory, about living us possibly living inside of an eye, a crater on an eye. So I hear where you're going with that, with the Saturn and the eye. Yeah. So keep going, bro, please.
I don't really know much other. I mean, Z, we've talked about what Enoch mentioned. Sorry, radar detector. You and I have talked about before the way that Enoch kind of described these 7 transgressing stars that didn't go on the right courses. And I think Saturn is one of those. I think it's just the 7th planet that make the solar system or whatever. I see them evil entities, like evil. Oh, I'm thinking here.
Yeah, you're roboting, Joe. You're roboting, homie.
You're booging.
Enoch said they're in prison. So where God told him to go, and so he bound them in this place of darkness. So that's one of the other reasons why I think the solar system.
Oh man, what happened?
Yeah, we're losing him. He said he's driving. He's out in the Midwest or something like that. Let me put him in the back until he comes back up. It's interesting, London man. You bring up the eye theory, and I know you've been talking about that a lot on your channel. That are we potentially living in like the eye of God, so to speak? There's a guy who comes on here who has a channel called the Occult Rejects.
Yeah.
He seems to he just did a whole like multiple part series relating this realm to the eyeball. Where like Joe just said, can Saturn be a representation of the eye? We're told the all-seeing eye. The eye thing keeps coming up over and over again throughout history. Which is interesting. Again, once we remove the lens, the paradigm through which we see things, London man, and we kind of look at the world in a different way, maybe devoid of our indoctrinations and our preconceptions, we can maybe see things that kind of, that are evidenced throughout time. And the eye theory, there's a lot to it, man. There's at least to the symbology. And I know you're into it, London man, the whole macro and micro, the paradigm between these two things that in essence, is there really any different between the macro and the micro? Are they really just the same thing, just represented differently based on their different energies? So a lot of it makes sense to me. I know for a lot of people, it's too much to handle when I start thinking about really what is this place? But the macro micro would lend itself to some conception that our human biology could be represented in the macro world, and the opposite, that the macro world could be represented in our human biology. It brings new meaning to the terms, as above, so below, as within, so without. Maybe it's more literal than we actually think. Go ahead, dude. Your thoughts.
I like the way how you ended it on maybe it's more literal than we actually think, because I think so. I think a lot of things is hidden in plain sight when it comes to things relating to the human and the realm that we live in. They present a lot of truth to us, but they just call it a different name, or they just spin a different angle on us, right? But there is a lot of truth right in plain sight. It's just like if somebody comes in front of you, right, and they're a 70-year-old man, but they come to you and say, look, I'm 30 years old. It's a lie, but you can see the truth right in front of you, right? But we choose to go ahead with the lie sometimes, even though the truth is right in front of our faces. And I believe that that's with the realm that's been presented to us. Even though the truth is right in front of our face, but we don't want to look stupid and question it. We don't want to look stupid and question it, so we just run with the narrative that's been given to us, hoping to fit it, not knowing that we're going to stand out, because there's a bunch of people that think differently. And yeah, it's about time we start letting people know we think different.
Yeah, dude, no doubt. Let me ask you, London, man. From your end, dude, your perspective, it's just interesting, dude, this journey, this truth journey, whatever it is, it's just really growth, maturation, individually and collectively. Where are you right now in your walk, dude? How are you seeing things? Not only just things in general, but in the metaverse and beyond, dude. What's your take on things? Where are things going to go? Are people going to continue to, quote unquote, wake up? Are people waking up? Or are we just doomed to be enslaved? Where are you? What's your barometer right now?
I'm glad you asked me that, Z, because I don't think it's going to get any better on this metaverse stuff as a collective. Individually, you can better yourself, but as a collective, hell no. There's too many broken people on this stuff here. Too many broken people, Everyone seems to come to this place and claim they're on some type of spiritual journey, healing journey, right? But these are the type of people that are the most venomous people on these stuff, right? You see, when you come on this place and you're all about this healing and spiritual, in my opinion, I think they're the most ones you got to stay away from, right? People that just come on here with information like myself, people that actually tell you what it is. We don't beat around the bush. I think they're the type of ones, that it's kind of genuine and really want to help. But this whole metaverse shit, I try to stay away from everybody, bro, because it's a lot of fake shit on this metaverse stuff. And I didn't sign up for the fake shit. I just signed up to do the stuff that I'm doing right now, So yeah, too much feelings and it's weird. It's weird. It's fucking weird, bro. On this shit, it's only going to get worse. Sorry to say, it's only going to get worse on this shit. Listen, anything that's given to us is not going to benefit us in the long run. I'll put it that way. It was given to us.
You know what I see, London, man, is for lack of a better term, jealousy. Because you have to think on YouTube, we're all kind of creators. If you have a YouTube channel, you have the ability to be a creator. Mm-hmm. But what I see is allegations, which are basically masked jealousy. So it's like okay, I don't like this creator because maybe he has a little bit more juice than me, or you know, whatever the reason. So then it's like, let's create a narrative about the person, and now let's promote the narrative. Okay, it's like I was saying, the Snafu Snaps, who Snafu links in the chat, dude. Snafu is consistently saying, Unslavius is pogo, Unslavius is a pedo supporter. Now, come on, you and I, London man, know right well that fucking Snafu doesn't think that. Snafu, you don't really believe what you're saying there, but yet you're saying it over and over again. I'm just using this as an example, London man. It begs the question, why? Why is Snafu going to come on every day and make allegations against Paul that he knows are not true? What's your motive, Snafu? I don't mean to pick on you, Snafu, but I'm using you as an example, dude. There's no way Snafu actually believes that. But he's going to come on here and create this fucking narrative as if it's okay. And we've almost hit that point, London, man, where it's become almost like the WWE. It's become like a fucking show, like a farce, where people could just come on here and just call people pogos, call people agents. It's the same thing Sovereign Slave did to me, dude. He didn't like what was going on between me and him, so instead of addressing it or whatever, he comes on, Z's an agent, Z's an agent, Z's an agent, over and over again. Fucking Voynich, same thing. You saw what happened to Mudflood Ray. They come on, Z's an agent, which is coincidence. The three people who want to come on and call me an agent are coincidentally three other creators who maybe in some way are looking at me with a little bit of a fucking side eye, dude. So like I said, Snafu, you're going to come on all these platforms and you're going to keep making claims against Paul that you fucking know aren't true, dude. And that makes you look really fucking bad. And funny, look who just popped in as I just fucking said it. Unslavius himself. And I didn't know Paul was going to come on. But yet here he is. I'm just calling Snafu out. Snafu's here too. Snafu, dude, you know you don't believe the things you're saying, but you're saying them anyway. What does that say about you, dude?
Do you even know what happened? I think you don't even know what happened.
No, you're assuming I don't know. No, I know enough. Go ahead.
Let me explain this in a calm manner. The reason I'm saying this is I do know pogos, I do know criminals, traitors, frauds, and pedophiles, big tech on YouTube. One of them is by the name of Monograph, Steve Quest, Roy Rowan Marshall. He's known throughout YouTube for his pedophile tendencies he posts of kidnapping, rape, and torture on children on his YouTube channel. He's been questioned by the Pentagon Task Force, Pedophile Task Force. We've been exposing this guy for a while, and he's been triggered. 78,000 something. He's been triggered for a while. What's funny, though, is Paul gets in his modes where he knows your life, knows who you are, knows everything. And this motherfucker, we got the video without even fucking knowing shit because he's triggered like a hoe in his feelings. Says, I hope Monograph takes you out. So he sat there in hopes that a guy who many know of his pedophile tendencies, he ran his fucking mouth. And this is a lesson learned that, hey, yeah, he supported a pedophile right there, known, very well known. I'll 100% put it up. I don't care if they sue me or not because I know what I'm doing on this whole excursion. My whole point is Paul ran his fucking mouth like he does.
Snafu, do you see the links that you're going to
make
a connection that really doesn't exist? The lengths that you're going to make a 6 degrees of separation connection to paint your narrative, to me, is quite obvious, dude.
When you say you support a guy who posts fantasies of rape, torture, and children online, and you're going to say it without doing your own research and just say shit out of his mouth like he does to everyone, yeah, I get upset because we have actual whistleblowers and journalists who this guy's been threatening. So, yeah, Z, I'm going to fucking call his bitch ass out. Now, you're right. Deep down, does he support the pedo? I think he just says shit without thinking. Now, he obviously said that in support of Monograph. No,
so you're going to admit that right here, but then you're going to continue with the narrative as it's okay. So you're just going to admit what you just admitted. Come on, Snafu. You don't see how this makes you look real fucking bad?
No, dude? Actually, you know what? I'm fine with saying, you know what, motherfucker? You're going to sit there and run your mouth on people and say you know about their lives and know about this and know how their wives and their families are. And then you're going to say some dumb shit to me about the people we're exposing who put people's lives in danger. Yeah, fuck that, Z. He ran his fucking mouth and he supported a pedophile, a criminal who's tied to the Marfugel fraud shit. And he ran his fucking mouth. And that's why that's why, yeah, sorry. He may be sitting on a couch making his money, changing the world through thought and blah, 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 talking shit to him. Well, others are doing shit, whether he wants to believe it or not. Others in this metaverse have been doing shit for a while, whether he wants to believe it or not. And when he fucking said what he said, and it's on video, Monograph, I hope Monograph takes you out. You know, the same guy who's killed chickens and fucking all kinds of threats and doxed our phone numbers and, you know, death threats just a day after Paul said that, the guy doxed us. Fact is we have been, I totally support Monograph. Pogo's actually 100.
Hold on, I'm gonna put you on ice.
Likes it.
I'm gonna put you on ice a little bit, Snafu. Just ice out a little bit, dude. How does somebody have that much energy like this time in the fucking day, man? OTW, what's your take on this, dude?
Grand Rising, sir. My take on this is Snafu. I don't know, man. I think you've lied. A couple of screws are loose or something, man. Because he couldn't keep my name, okay, LTW, out of his mouth yesterday on Paul's stream. So it's like, I don't get it. And just because I sit there beside Paul on his panel, you know, he was calling me out for the same thing as Paul. So it's like, I think he's crazy. You know, it's like, eventually, you know, change your disc, man. Your vinyl disc has a scratch on it, man. You got to change it. It keeps skipping.
It's like,
that's what I have to say.
This isn't even that interesting of a conversation, but he came in my chat this morning right out of the gates with Paul's this, please supports pet. I'm like, okay, so now Snafu's coming to my channel every fucking morning, and he's basically disparaging another man in my chat every fucking morning. So I wanted to call him out on it, dude. It's kind of crazy, Snafu, that you're so like a fucking pit bull. Here's the thing I want to question you about, Snafu. Have you investigated your own motives, Snafu? Wondering, are you projecting? Is there any degree of jealousy going on here? Just to get on a narrative, Snafu, that you just admitted that you know isn't true, and to keep pushing that narrative really goes against all your credibility, dude. And I'm calling you out on it, Snafu, this morning. I don't even really fucking want to talk about this, dude. I mean, we're talking about helicopters on Mars. And next thing you know, it's like, but he doesn't let go of it, dude. And now it's going to be like, oh, well, you know, what's the next thing going to be, Snafu? You don't like that I'm talking about it? So I'm going to be a supporter of a pedo supporter who's a supporter of. How many degrees of separation are you going to get, Snafu, to try to disparage people? I don't know. Go ahead. Yeah. Floor's open.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Like, what is it going to take? Like, you're going to go from like you said, the 6 degrees of separation to, okay, so that supporter supports this guy. And so you're in this. So he's going to fucking link the whole fucking planet to pedo supporters. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all interconnected and linked in a certain way, right? I don't know, man. Eventually, it's like you go a little bit too far with you're pushing your narrative a little bit too much, man. You just like stick to your Marfugel and your fucking Dex Jones or whoever the fuck that is, and stick to those guys and leave the community alone, man. It's like we're trying to create something here, and you're just coming up here and creating chaos. Why can't you just come up and have a decent conversation and tell us things like knowledgeable things that you actually know about the conversation at hand? Or the topic that's being talked about, you know, not just, pogo this, pogo that. Was like, you don't have any other vocabulary. It's limited to like fucking 10 words. Come on, man.
Look, there's a science and a method behind propaganda, right, and indoctrination. One of the key tenets is to use inflammatory words and terms that appeal to people's emotions. So it's just a very basic thing you're doing, Snafu. You're just going to scream pedo over and over again because you know it's going to trigger people's emotions and it's going to turn their logical thinking mind off, right? So you're just going to scream pogo, pogo, pogo and present somebody's name over and over again, regardless of any evidence, in an effort to try to sway people. It's just very basic, man. Whether you're aware of it or not, I'm not sure, dude, but let's let him back up, dude. I mean, you can speak for yourself, Snafu.
Yeah, I'll speak for a minute.
No. OTW. You got another crazy motherfucker in private chat,
no, OTW, Paul Boy, when I started calling him out, and OTW and Z. You
Calling
never
us out
fucking
for
said,
what?
I
You
hope
have
someone
nothing
would
to-
expose.
you-
No,
no.
let me talk. You just
have
said your
nothing
shit.
to stand on.
You fucking
Snafu. It's
cupcake.
all in
When
your
Paul
fucking
got
imagination,
triggered and
man.
hoed, he's told
You're
you
the
and
one who's
Sean Force
triggered,
to
man.
block me, and you suck daddy's dick and blocked me. That's
It's
why I was
called
surprised. Like, this guy
content.
lets his
And
balls
when
and
you
does whatever he
fucking
wants
can't
for
shut
Paul.
up and let
For
other people
whatever.
talk,
No,
you know,
that's
what
what
do you
you
think
did,
happens?
OTW.
You get
As
fucking
far as
booted
Paul
for
goes, he
and you
absolutely
fucking
said, I
act like
posted
a
the
bitch
video in
and
the
you
Z.
leave.
He
You don't even
absolutely
fucking
said,
stay
I hope
backstage and wait
Monograph
till
takes
we
you
let
out.
you back
We've
up
been
again.
exposing this
You have
fucking
no
criminal
respect for
scumbag
anybody. You have
pedophile
no
for a
respect
minute.
for the
And
fucking
yeah, he said
panel,
it.
for
Z,
the
you've
host.
never
You know
said
what I
that
mean?
shit to me,
Snafu,
or probably
stop
would.
being such
Okay,
a
you're
fucking
smart enough
dickhead.
to not say dumb shit like that, where Paul just pops his mouth.
Dude,
And
you see,
OTW, the only issue I have with you is you suck
obviously
his
for some
balls like you
reason
culted up
your
member.
speaker on your
You
phone
sucked
doesn't
his
work.
balls. He
Because
said
when other
block
people talk,
Snafu, and you
obviously you
did.
don't hear them
So
talking
go fuck off, you
because
culted
you
fuck.
keep talking. You know, so I mean, I figured that maybe you don't have like your the speaker on your phone's not working, dude. You can't hear people when they're speaking to you. Because this is what you do. You go off on your rant. No,
That's what you
listen,
fucktards
man.
don't get. Again,
Be
you
a
support
fucking
pedophiles, criminals,
adult and
traitors.
listen.
And yeah, I stick by
Can't you
what I
have
said.
a
It's
normal
on video,
conversation
Z.
without
You
going
want
off on your
evidence? It's on
fucking
video,
spew?
Z.
Stop
He said it out of
berging.
his own fucking mouth. He said it out of his own pipe.
Berging.
Go, I
Yeah,
hope
but you
a
take
pedophile
things so
takes you out,
fucking
Snafu.
seriously. How
I
the
hope
fuck
the
do
guy
you know if
who's
he
a
was?
criminal that's part of fraud and veteran
How
fraud
do
and
you
charity
know if he
fraud
wasn't?
and pedophile
You
rings
don't
takes you
even
out.
know if
Yeah,
those are
fuck you,
facts or
Paul.
not. You're just this
You
is
know what? The
hearsay.
reason I don't
This
say
is
this to
all
you, Z, or
hearsay,
others, because you're not
Snafu.
dumb enough to pipe your mouths and say some
No,
dumb shit like that.
that has nothing to
OTW
do
just
with
as
dumb or
brown nose and
fucking
Nazi
smart.
trying
It's
to copy
having
Paul,
fucking
trying
common
to
sense.
copy Z, trying to copy all you
No,
guys with this shit.
dude, this
And
is
then when Paul said,
ridiculous.
hey,
Your
block
your
Snafu,
copy
he went
story
in
is
cupcake
stupid.
mode and
Whoever
blocked me.
thinks that
At least
I'm
Sean
copying
Force
somebody is
unblocked me
stupid.
saying, yeah, you're right.
This is
You know,
stupid.
but
Stop
no,
speaking,
OTW,
Snafu.
you're brown
All
nose
we
and
hear is a
copycat
bunch of
Paul.
mumbling.
And
It's
yeah, I
not
stood up
going
to Paul
anywhere.
saying, hey, you
You're not
piped up without
making
even
any
fucking knowing
point.
what the fuck you're talking about. And Z,
Nothing
if someone
is you're
said that
saying
to
right
your
now is
face
actually
and you
going
were
to amount
exposing
to
criminals,
anything, and
traitors, and
nobody really
fraud,
cares.
and part of your people were
Take a break. I'm going to put you both on ice. Not like you did anything wrong, really, but just chill for a second. Don't go anywhere. Or go anywhere. I don't fucking care, honestly. Yeah, we know you're back, Henrietta. Much like a lot of you ladies, you don't really know whether to love me or to hate me. Usually it's somewhere it's usually both at the same time, actually, which is strange. See, London Man, here's the thing, dude. Like, all right. So it's pretty obvious to me what Snafu's doing. I called him out in front of everybody. Instead of just kind of like, I don't know, admitting it, taking the rap and moving on, he's going to double down on it. He's going to say that he's actually behaving rationally and that we're all the ones that are just missing it, man. And I don't know, dude. What's your fucking take on it, man? Am I off?
I think we're all off. I'm off for sure. I don't know what happened with these guys, but I like Snap's energy, and for some strange reason, I do like Paul's broadcast. I do like what he brings. It's different. It's different, you know. I like the way how he handles himself, and I like what he brings. He brings a lot. He brings energy. He brings energy. It's up to debate whether it's bad or good energy, but.
Well, here's the thing, Snafu. Here's the thing, dude. I know we're all like linked in this metaverse and stuff, but you guys can say what you want. But Snafu, am I really supposed to let you come in my chat every morning and basically defame somebody by telling them they support pedos and shit, dude? Like, you know, everybody wants to get on me about the free speech thing, free speech, but am I just supposed to let people use my platform to say whatever the fuck they want? It's, you understand my point, London Man? It's like what happened last week. That one guy came up. He started spouting his mouth off about people. I cut him off as quickly as I could. They all fucking showed up here and basically told me to take my shit down, bro. What's my responsibility here? You know? Am I really supposed to let Snafu just say whatever the fuck he wants, not only here, but in the chat? And Snafu, you left. I don't know if it's your tech or not, but, you know. Here's Razvan. He's going to say something. Come on, Razvan. What do you want?
I just wanted to say, like,
We can't hear you, Razvan.
Hollywood movie.
What was that? We can't hear you. Great job, bros, man. Christos. Yeah. Sorry, Razvan. I guess that Romanian technology you got going on. Who knows? I think he's in England. Fucking guy. He's Borgen. He's gonna come up and tell us. Razvan thinks Paul Enslaved is a Hollywood actor. Weird.
Is he Hollywood? Is he? I didn't know that.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I'm here doing my show, and then Snafu shows up, and he won't stop on the same narrative. Like, he just won't give it up. I'm just saying, Snafu, I don't think I could just let you come to my channel calling people pedos over and over again, dude. Especially people that I, like, respect and stuff, dude. What does that say about me, dude? You know. And then it's going to be like, oh, okay, well then, you know. It's like, what's his name was saying? You can't win either way, man. In the end, you just got to do what you think is right, London, man. It's really not about supporting people, not supporting people. It's just, in the end, it's really just about doing what's right. You know. Let's let OTW back up. What's up, man?
Well, I was actually just reviewing that argument we just had, Snafu and I, and it's like I mentioned back in private chat, you know, I was like, I like the dude, you know, it's like, just stop freaking out, man. Especially on all of us, we all know each other. We've been around each other for 8 months, a little bit more, and you know, I mean, it's like by now, like, get over it. You know, if you show up, you know, why don't you come and say, well, guys, I've got like this new person that I've discovered. And it's like, why don't you actually do your job that you're so passionate about? And, you know, and just like stop freaking out on all the people that you've spent time with, man. It's like, because I imagine you around a group of friends and you're always the one that fucking everybody's like, they like you, but they can't stand you. It's like, come on, man. Take a break, man. Take a chill pill. Smoke 3-4 bats before you come on panel and freaking just join the conversation, man. Join the conversation like a normal fucking, you know, human being. How else could I put it? I yield.
Well, dude, I mean, like I said, it's my biggest issue with Snafu is I don't think it's genuine, dude. It's not. I don't even like everyone's like, oh, he's crazy. I don't think Snafu's crazy.
I don't either.
You know, so it begs the question: what is he doing, OTW? What's his fucking motive, dude? Why is he trying to like? Go ahead. Is it just jealousy? Go ahead.
I don't know, Z. I think he's pissed off. If it was jealousy, I mean, I don't see him trying to promote a channel or nothing for these type of things. So I don't think he's trying to put himself out there. I don't think it's jealousy. I think he's probably just pissed off about something that we're not actually looking into. We might have missed something. I missed the whole thing, right? But I know jealousy, and I know when someone's pissed off. And I don't think it's jealousy. He's probably pissed off about something, in my opinion. I could be wrong.
Well, let me let's take a hard left real quick. I got Party Poet 66 in the back. He likes to come up here and tell us the same narrative each time. All right, Party Poet, I'm going to let you up. For how long? That's to be determined. Either way, welcome back to the stream.
I'm glad I'm here, actually, for this one.
Oh, so you know this Party Poet guy, huh?
I've seen him on your... I've actually been wanting to interact with him, but...
All right, hold on. Snafu is back. Hold on, Party Poet. I know it's going to be hard for you because you're goofy, but Snaps is back. Unbelievable.
I told you guys exactly why I'm upset, Z, because we've been exposing criminals, traitors, frauds, and very serious pedophile rings used on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. If you guys want to laugh or not.
Okay.
You know the fraud is real OTW, which links to the pedophile rings because Monograph's involved. And even if you look in your chat, even people are saying, hey, he has valid points about Monograph, whether you like me or not. The fact is we have whistleblowers and journalists who are threatened real life because of exposing these people, and a lot of background shit going on behind scenes too.
What's the issue with like with me and Paul? Like, why are you on our
and
case.
support someone, which is on video, which he said, I hope Monograph takes you out, whether he's in his triggered feelings or not. And I have people, and myself included, being death threatened by these criminals we're exposing. Why would you think I'm happy about any of this? Seriously, you guys act like
I didn't
it's
think you.
like
I just didn't know
left
what was
internet
going
because
on.
of dealing with the troll. We deal with trolls beyond it. We're dealing with big tech companies. We're dealing with fucking people who pay people on purpose to do this. And then Paul, like whether he knows or not, we've been
Snafu.
exposing the Monograph and Mark
Can
Fugel and Jacob
you let
Israel,
us speak for a
the
second,
big boys.
please?
The big boy channels, and I started getting at Paul because I was like, hey, you're playing with some of these big boy pogo channels that are very known, and I give him shit, you know, blah, blah. But then when he mentioned the Monograph thing, and especially because Monograph is tied with some very serious, real shit, you know, I won't even say it out of respect for your channel, Z. I get it, but I am disgusted that you guys even question why I'd be upset. That's because the guy he shouted out has threatened myself and journalists and whistleblowers. It's all there throughout the years. You look into this fucktard and what he's about. Again, and for Paul to run it, and again, that's just Paul running his mouth because he doesn't know everything. He doesn't know how we are, what we do, or he may think like none of us are doing shit in this world. I'm sorry, buddy, but when you just shouted out the fucking dude who's death threatened our journalists, death threatened fucking many people over 5 years span, people I've never even met because of the same optics, the pedophile shit, and then the charity fraud shit linked with it. These are criminals. These are traitors. These are fraud. These are big tech fuckers with trolls, Z. So the Ian China Club, like we even have combat vets that have stories about Ian China back in the day with this whole Monograph shit. You know, he was questioned on the John Benet Ramsey murders, death cult optics. You know,
look, hold on. Hold on a second. Let me just say this for the record. I don't know who Monograph is. I can't confirm nor deny anything that Snafu's saying. All right, I have no clue who he's talking about.
I don't know who Monograph.
Why do I hear music? Is that you, Party Poet? That's why I almost didn't let you up. You don't even know how to behave on a panel. Why do I hear music, Party Poet?
You never said I'm coming on. You usually say, here comes Party Poet.
Oh my God, you're goofy every time you come up. You're so fucking goofy, dude.
What am I supposed to be doing? Listening?
You're one of the most goofy fucks. Go ahead. What do you got for us? Anything new this morning? So you're just, you know, you're on and you're playing music in the background.
I didn't know I was on. You never said
okay.
I was
on a scale of 1 to 10, how stoned are you right now?
Oh, at least an 8 or a 9.
An 8 or a 9 on the stone?
8 or 9 on the stone. Yeah, but I was going to say that, you know, if you're a Illuminati show, you'd have a heck of a lot more viewers on your show. So there's one good way of saying you can't.
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah, but, you know, it's the same thing. You know, if we've been to the moon, there'd be a McDonald's there by now. So, same line.
Giving you your music, Party Poet. What do you want, dude?
Well, I was going to say, you know, basically that you're not an Illuminati shill, far from. And that was basically it as far as that goes. I was going to see if you wanted $100 to tell me what's wrong with it, with my site or with the video. And then that way you could take a look, see it's all legit. If not,
what the fuck are you saying, dude? OTW, what is he saying again, dude?
He's saying he wants to give you $100.
OTW, hold on. You wanted to talk
video?
to him, OTW. I mean, I'm not really sure I want to talk to him. I mean, I like you, Party Poet, but I don't know where to. But OTW seems to think you got something to offer. Go ahead.
Well, I figured he had something to say. It's like you have a rap when you come on here, man. So I wanted to hear your rap. I wanted to, you know, question you on your.
Go ahead. What is like, it? What is it you'd like to know about? Let's see, either A, you got $300 million. B, you can never.
Okay, now I remember what you're about. Okay, thank you, sir. This is what I wanted to recollect. Okay, so you're the birth certificate guy. Okay.
No, that is the old system. That system you'll get money by the time you're 1 foot in the grave.
Yeah, I get it. There's another system. You get it much quicker. You can do it in months. Yeah, okay. I remember your rap now. I just wanted you to
become free inside 2 months, maybe 3. By that I mean you can spend all the money and you'll never see a bill, and it just reinstates itself every billing cycle. Or choice B. You just take as much money as you want. Everything else becomes free. But that's the newer system that seems to get shut down really quick because everybody thinks about the fact that someone said you can monetize your birth certificate, and that's going to take between 10 to 15 years before you see a fucking dime. And then now everybody seems to want to push this. I'm saying you can go get your credit cards free inside a couple of months. I don't have any credit cards, but you can also, let's see, never go to jail for a crime that doesn't involve violence. You never have to pay your taxes. All that is basically not really my rant. It's the new system that everybody seems to not want to talk about because all they got is the old straw man policy going. So would you like to not, do you have any friends in jail that you want out? Would you like to never go to jail again? Or would you like...
Here's my problem, Party Poet, with your whole thing, dude. It's like...
It's not my thing, but yeah.
No, but here's the thing, dude. You take all the things that are sort of self-evident, dude.
Like what?
But then it's like a half-truth. And then you take the next step, right? So you go, okay, you're going to present all these different, you're going to posit certain things. Okay, you're going to point out how taxes are basically unlawful. You're going to point out the corporate straw man, right? You're going to point out the difference between the dual jurisdiction, et cetera, et cetera.
It won't be me pointing it out. It'll be a bunch
But
of
here's
other
the
people. But
right,
yeah.
but then you go on and then you're saying that somehow we can all cash in a $3 million trust that's been set up in our name, dude.
Right.
And that's where you're going to lose everybody, including me, dude, especially until you have that money cash in hand, bro. Or show me somebody that's did it.
By the time I got
how
my
is
money
it? How is
cash
it?
in hand, I won't be on this show. I'll tell you that.
But you see how you're setting up a quote unquote unfalsifiable position. You're basically saying
Because
like, yeah, I'm going to
he
say
doesn't
it, and when
explain
it
what
happens, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do
Yeah,
you
I'm sorry,
want?
see, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
No.
just because what happens, hold on, listen, is you don't explain the root of it all. You
root of
understand?
it
Like
is
there's a
probably-
process to
sorry.
it, and you come up here and you say these things, but you don't go back to the basics of what it all means and why you
I
can
do much
you can
better
get.
on answering questions, and you got some cool questions. But the base of it, it's called the conditional acceptance letter, which basically says that after you send all your stuff in, like they used to, all legally to all the companies saying you're not supposed to be charging me, and they all say we don't have a clue what you're talking about, which happened in the old days, and people just gave up because the company.
But I do know what you're talking about. I've
No,
been
that's what
down
the
that
company
rabbit hole. I
says. No.
understand exactly what you're
No,
saying.
that's what
I-
the company says to you. And then basically what the guys came up now with, it's called a conditional acceptance. And it's a 30-page document, well, between 20 to 30 pages, depending on your
All right, I'm going to stop you right there. See,
All
when you
right.
talk about these things, you have to have a link ready and shit to back up what you're saying,
I
brother.
gave Z the link. The link basically is really simple.
No,
All
no,
you
no.
gotta- All you got to do is type into YouTube, "Who wants to be a millionaire?" But wait, you already are. No sales required. I made the name really long. You type that in again. "Who wants to be a millionaire?" But wait, you already are. No sales required. You type that in. Only one video will come up. It explains literally everything. I basically took the website, ripped it apart, made it really easy to follow for any newbie that comes along. And now I'm basically getting stuck in with that straw man crap of monetizing your birth certificate, which takes way longer than the average person is willing to wait. This, like I said, your credit cards become free in a couple of months. You never have to go to jail again for a crime that didn't involve violence of any kind. They can't put you in jail for that,
That still doesn't explain why, sir. It doesn't
Why
explain. No. It doesn't explain how to do that. It's like you're not telling anybody
told
really
you, they
anything.
explain to you the conditional acceptance letter, which is basically the letter that says, you have to take me seriously, or I will shut your entire company down legally. And then they take you seriously after that. And the conditional acceptance letter is on the website. Everything's on the website. And I'm just basically the guy who took the website and made it easy to follow. But the link is the video that I made. I only made one freaking video ever, and it's called Who wants to be a millionaire? But wait, you already are. No sales required. You type that in, only one video pops up. I did that because remember what is it? Hashtag bubbles in space, and then within a week, if you basically looked up bubbles in space, there were a million psyop videos to take you away from the actual bubbles in space. So I made my name really freaking long. You'll never get bubbles in space problems.
All right, sir. Well, I guess I don't have any more questions for you, man.
They got, like I said, what was it? Tons of people who've already done it and posted the fact that they've.
What are we supposed to make of that, Patrick? Because here's the thing, man. What if he's right? Because that's where my mind goes. I'm like, what if he's fucking right? But then I have to check myself. I'm like, come on, man. Like, at what point do we draw the line on this whole thing? When do we get out of, like... Because here's a problem, Patrick, with quote-unquote truth movement. Is a bunch of unsubstantiated claims that kind of make us all look fucking wacky, dude. And then we all get put under this, like this music, the circus tent. So now we're all under the same tent, right? It's the same way. It's like, oh, okay, so you tell somebody that you don't believe in the Bang Bang events and, the Captain Hook event that happened in Connecticut at the school. And next thing you know, it's like you're Alex Jones all of a sudden. So what now? So I tell people that I question authority, and now they're going to think I'm Party Poet 66 and we're all millionaires. It's like...
It's not that we're all millionaires, Z. It's because this is why I was trying to get him to explain what it really is. You understand? It's because we are all a part of the world trade thingy there. Like, anyway, I fucking don't know anything about that stuff there, like the trading and all that shit there. But I do know that each country, they have stock in the World Trade Center, World Trade Market, whatever it's called, and we are that stock. You understand? We are the value of that of the country. So this is maybe where he's getting the fact that, like, the country gets their money from, like, the only value that it actually has, which is the people that live in the country. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go to the la bourse, it's in French, it's bourse. I can't get it. It's the World Trade Market. We're in there. You're because you have a number. You're registered as one of those actions in the country on the trade market thing. It's all a fucking. He has a point when he's talking about what he's saying. He just doesn't break it down correctly. You understand? So it makes it like fucking people. Oh, this guy's crazy. But if he took the information and when he presented it first, right off the bat, instead of telling people, go watch my video, it explains it all. No. You should freaking tell the people and break it down now so that it gives them the interest to go watch the video. This is what I'm trying to say. Because it's much more than just what he's talking about. It implies a lot of shit, man. But if you have a social insurance number, then you are literally an action or one of those things that you're on the trade market thing. You understand? And it belongs to the Paul would probably know this a lot better than I do. Fuck, I don't even know the terms correctly. I've just been down that rabbit hole. I've read about it. I've seen videos all about it. I understand the whole thing. Santos Bonacci talked about it. Eternally Aware did it. Justinian Deception it talks about it. So it's different YouTubers that have wants to use.
I'm out of debt here. I don't even know. I know the stuff that you're talking about. I spoke to you about the Mars stuff, so let me jump off now, Z. But I can see you got people in the back, so you can't even drop your email how I wanted you to drop it for me. But next time, I'll grab your email and we'll take it forward from there, bro.
Cool, London. Much love, home slice.
Respect. Peace out, OTW.
Peace out.
Peace, man. Much love.
Looks like we have Rose 777 in the back. Rose, maybe you can talk to this Party Poet guy. Maybe you can make sense of it. Because, Rose, he's come on my channel like a number of times now with the same rap. He's very passionate about it. Let's let her up. Rose, good to see you again. Welcome back.
Good morning, Z. Okay, so the conditional acceptance is a document that exists, and there are appropriate times to use it. Like, for example, people use the conditional acceptance during the COVID hoax when they would use the strategy of saying, hey, I'd be happy to take your vaccine, but you have to prove that it's not going to hurt me. And since they couldn't do that, a lot of times that did work. Sometimes it didn't, though. Sometimes people would have to file a complaint with the EEOC and file a lawsuit, like with the Oshner guy, Agent F. And we all know that there was an account created when the birth certificate was assigned. However, the idea that the useless eaters are going to gain access to that account is complete poppycock. And also, just think about it in your heart and soul. When is taking the path of least resistance and getting free shit for no reason going to work out well for anybody? So instead of coming instead of coming on here and arguing what the conditional acceptance is and all of the paperwork and the 1099 and how you're going to be free, blah, 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 let me just tell you a little fun story about what happened to Christopher Hauser. But first, wait a second. Everyone write down this name, Winston Shrout, because every 7 years they wrangle people up. Winston Shrout went to jail, and so just look up his case. But now let's talk about right now, Christopher Hauser. When I saw the first video that he uploaded, I was like, oh my God, we got to bring him on Coachable 7 Radio because he was talking to these public officials about gold and silver, and he was saying some really good stuff. But then he started talking about the 1099 and the conditional acceptance and telling me about his friend Wacko, who's this rapper in Louisiana who got like $2 million from a conditional acceptance. And I was like, oh, well, that's very interesting. Can I please see that document, like an example of it? And then later he came back at me and he's like, Wacko doesn't want to show his conditional acceptance because he's afraid that maybe he got the money by accident due to a clerical error and he doesn't want to bring attention to it after the fact. So this is what's going on with Christopher Hauser now. And I feel sorry that he fell for this, because when he told me this story, I thought, oh no, this is all poppycock. So on Father's Day of last year, and this is after, like, this is kind of, I'm skipping ahead. You guys don't need the beginning of it. This is the punchline. He ended up on the phone with this agent from the Treasury Department who was assigned to his quote unquote case. And then he says, I'm going to come down to Tennessee and we're going to have a meeting. And this all happened on Father's Day. And they like sat in a rented out condo. And this is what Christopher Hauser was told. And this is what he believed. He said, you're going to help us to bring in a new banking system into the United States of America. And there are so many people that are sending in the 1099s and this paperwork all because of you, Christopher Hauser, to the point where we have rented brand new buildings that don't even have furniture yet, with boxes filled with this paperwork that we weren't prepared to receive. So, Christopher Hauser, here is what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to Washington, D.C., and I'm going to send you a 950-page document, and I'm going to teach you how to be a bank and how to get all of your friends and family to access their banking capabilities. Now, I don't do this for everyone. I usually just do this for banks. But you're special, Chris. You're special. You're going to be the spigot of the faucet. And you're going to bring in the new banking system. And he believes this, and that's what he's been doing.
Right.
And he keeps sending him new paperwork.
It's basically
so
controlled.
like
Yeah, it's basically like being used as controlled opposition. Basically, let's bring him back up. Party poet. I mean, you just heard what Rose says. What Rose said. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, dude?
Well, let's see. As far as Christopher Hauser and the new banking system that he's being offered to basically, he had something like $250 million coming to him from an action that he took on with the state.
No, it was 136 million.
Oh, sorry. And basically that money was, instead of giving it to him, they just said, why don't you open up a bank and run it the way you want? But first we're going to teach you how to run a bank. Now, my system avoids all that because you can basically just write yourself checks and avoid the banks completely. Which, like I said, everybody's pushing the old system that, you know, some of it Rose was attained to, and she for some reason dropped the subject. But basically, if you watch my video, it explains step by step when I wasn't as stoned as I am now, and I basically explained everything point by point that the video makes. But as far as Chris goes, he's allowed to basically become his own bank. He's basically starting people up and showing them you can be your own bank. He's taking the big folks off, or the big crowd, the people who have a lot of folks underneath them first, and then they basically will explain it to their own people. This is going to take like 6 months to a year his way. My way, like I said, your credit cards become free in a couple of months, and Chris Hauser got checks that basically made life really easy for him. I don't know how to explain it any better other than the fact that if you just go on the website if you basically watch my video, it explains the website point by point, explains what a Sestic trust is, that your name starts with Sestic, which they're not telling you, and that basically says that you automatically have a whole bunch of money that the oligarchy gave you under the guise that you were never supposed to spend it, because they wanted to cash in the money after you drop dead, which is how they paid for COVID-19 till 2026. It's completely paid for until 2026.
Okay, and is there any documentation on this so we could go read about this or something? It's like where can we find this information, or where did you find it? Like, how did you?
I'm just gonna put it like this. Hold on, Party Poet. Hold on, because I know he asked you a legit question. I just don't resonate with this. Like, okay, so whenever I reach this point in any information I'm being presented with, when things become diffuse and obscure and I can no longer logically proceed,
there you go.
I tend to reject it, dude, and that's what I get with this story. It's not logical to me, and it could just be because I'm missing it, dude. Maybe you're like a super fucking genius, and I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
No, I basically took the website apart and made it easy to follow. But all the paperwork, they even show you, here's the paperwork, here's where you go get the paperwork, all off of official websites or IRS websites, and they explain the paperwork step by step. I just basically say, here's this law, go look it up yourself. Half the stuff I say in the video that I made is go do your own research. But here's what you want to research, instead of the crap they want to throw in your face, here's what you actually want to research. And like I said, just watch the freak. I was going to say, I'd give you $100 to go watch it so that you can calm down, and then basically tell folks it's too legit to quit, or tell them whatever opinion you want. As long as you watched it, I'll shoot you $100 just to get off my ass going, you think I came up with this hooey? Would you like that? Would you like, basically, if you say you watched the video, eventually I'll watch your show that says, hey, he watched the video. And
how long is the video?
About half hour, less than a half hour.
No, the answer is no. I'll just give you the quick fucking answer. No, I don't even really know what you said, but apparently you want to pay me money to watch the fucking video, and really I wouldn't even take it, dude.
That's cool.
I'm not anything against you, dude. But like,
a lot of other people like Rose and everybody else muddied the water going.
What would I do with 300 million that I tricked the system out of? Like, what would I even do with that? Do you think that would not come with strings attached, dude?
No, it doesn't.
It's like Rose was saying. This guy starts figuring stuff out. Next thing you know, he's got government agencies basically rolling the red carpet out for him. Then you just become a minion of the system. You're just doing their bidding for them.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to think they're smarter than everybody else. Like, oh, I'm Party Poet, so I out-tricked all the fucking reptilians that are running this world. All these fucking blue-blood elites. You're just going to be smarter than them. You're going to find the little loophole that's going to turn you into a millionaire. I don't want to get mad at you, dude. I'm not trying to get angry at you, but it's like your fucking mindset. I don't even know what to deal with. It makes me crazy. You make me crazy. Get the fuck out of here. You're making me scream at my audience. Get the
just
fuck
imagine
out of here.
this conversation.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. I get excited sometimes and I get a little crazy.
Don't be sorry. But he's on the phone with this agent from the Treasury Department who's like, oh, I need to come down and meet you. Because for 3 hours, Chris is asking him in different ways, where's my $136 million? Can you imagine being an agent and the guy's just like unable to continue the conversation because he's continuously asking, where's my money? My 100. And then finally, I think the guy was like, yes, we do owe you the 136 million. It's just that we can't give it all to you right now. We got to, figure out a way to do it. So we're going to finagle this banking system so that we can, make it good on our end, all this money we owe you. It's such bullshit. But I actually thought I was going to come up to talk about the double sun, but I'm not going to try and change the subject. But I was listening to you talk about the double sun, by the way.
Nice. Hold on. Let me let our next guest up in the back, who said he was Clint, but now he's the honorable somebody. Who is this? Oh, it's Paul Unslaved, everybody. He's up in our. He's up. He's up early.
Stop acting like broke bitches, man, out here waiting for a lottery ticket. Like, why don't they figure out how to create something in their life to get to something instead of begging the fucking government for access to a trust they got no title to?
Well, that's what it seems like to me, dude. It's like, oh, everybody's got to be the special boy, where they're going to outsmart the system. They're going to tell you that they know something that the controllers don't know, as if there's anything new under the sun. It just strains credibility, dude. And it's kind of
Isn't it amazing too how like you do decades of fucking work, come out in the open, then all of a sudden you got these other guys who come around and go, don't listen to him, listen to us. As they go to prison, as they got no results, as they're working with the feds. It's fucking laughable. People are getting gamed so hard on here, like 10 different fucking ways. It's crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Z's got to take a commercial or a potty break. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere, everybody. You got Paulie, Rose, and OTW to keep you all busy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Paul, I totally agree with what you said. Very well said. And for all the people that did successfully utilize the 1099A and get free stuff, I mean, aren't they paranoid that, in 5-7 years, they're not going to round people up again like they did with Winston Shrout? I put the link in the private chat here to the Winston Shrout case. And then I also put the link to the TennesseeCourt.gov Supreme Court ruling against Christopher Hauser that was on May 15th. So this would worry me if I was someone who was even interested in this process. But like Z and like you, it doesn't interest me to get something without working for it. And it doesn't seem like a sustainable process for everyone, because even if it was possible, the government's not gonna let it go for long, right?
Like you just said, the only people who start looking into this and stay on it, I've looked into it, I've tried it, and then I just left it alone because I said, you're playing with something here. I had to look into myself. You're playing with these people here to try to get access to something because you're a broke ass bitch with no purpose and meaning. If you had purpose and meaning, you'd get value and you wouldn't be worried about trying to come up on a golden lottery ticket like Wonka. Get real with yourself. These folks are sitting around all day smoking dope and acting like something's going to be dropped in their lap. Life don't fucking work that way, and it shouldn't.
You're absolutely right.
Goes against natural law.
Yeah, I agree. I've been down that rabbit hole too, and I did the same thing as you, Paul. I let it go. But the only reason why I came back to it was because of what you were talking about, and rights, properties, and freedom. So I went right back down into that same rabbit hole because I knew that the information was valuable and it was worth something, but not to get a free lottery ticket. You know what I mean? Like I looked into that.
These are the same people shitting on government, shitting on the system, shitting on fiat, right? And then want to turn around at their slightest convenience and try to get a bag off of it, right? You got to find some continuity in what you're saying and how you're living, right? If you got issues with these people and their system, use it as least as possible. Use yourself and the force and what you create as much as possible and leave that shit to the side.
Yeah,
they want a daddy. That's what it is. They come from a home with no fucking real man who's moving and shaking and creating, right? They want a daddy. They want someone to be their fucking provider and keeper.
They're living in contradiction when they have they have a certain principle, but then they're doing these things. And when you live in contradiction like that, it can be spiritually taxing, and then other symptoms are going to be related and come afterwards. I've seen it too many times.
Rose, the term you used was it conditional acceptance? What's the term?
Yeah, conditional acceptance or a notice
Right.
of liability, where you basically agree to something under a condition. So the idea is with a conditional acceptance, you better make that condition impossible for the other person to prove, unless you want to end up agreeing to it.
I mean, shouldn't that really be part of any negotiation or any interaction? Would be conditional acceptance? You're basically just saying, I'm recognizing my boundaries as a sovereign, and if we are to do any type of interaction or business with each other, we must proceed along these conditions. Shouldn't that be? Did they just engineer us out of that mindset? Like, why do we even need an understanding of conditional acceptance? Isn't that just healthy boundaries? Shouldn't that be part of any negotiation? And let's welcome Mitch. Mitch, you seem a little excited this morning. I hope you could be courteous and yeah. So we'll give you that. But I don't know. I guess my point is like a conditional acceptance should just be a natural part of human interaction. Why did we even need to be taught that? Go ahead. Floor's open.
So because corporate policies can change. So unlike the Constitution, for example, which doesn't change, a corporate policy. So you might have an agreement as an employee of a company. I'm going to work here. And so, okay, like here's the example that people use all the time. So McDonald's, they can force you to wear like a Hawaiian shirt on Fridays for like Hawaiian Day, but they can't force you to fuck the manager every Friday because that is like rape and it's against the Constitution. So you can't, that corporate policy can't override the Constitution. But going back to the Hawaiian shirt, someone might say, I'll be happy to wear the Hawaiian shirt on Fridays now that you're forcing us to do this, as long as you can prove to me that I'm not going to be, possessed by demons as a result of wearing, this certain kind of linen or whatever, and they have to prove that they won't do that, and then they don't have to wear it. Maybe that's a really bad example, but I was trying to be creative. Yeah. Does that make sense though?
The conditional acceptance is more like, for what I perceive it, something that's being offered. They're not claiming something is being offered. You might even be able to use conditional acceptance or accepted for value with like legal tender bills, right? If they send you bills and you want to play those games of you took out the bills and now you're not going to pay because you don't have the species of cash that they define, and you want to offer them another species of cash, which they can't take, in which case they'll have to cancel it out because you've offered to pay, right? If you've offered to pay and they don't accept, well, then you're entitled to the service. You could play that game with them, but people are just going to look at you as dishonorable. You're taking services and you're not giving back what that we all commonly use to discharge debt. So when you go to court, they're going to say, yeah, maybe it works, maybe you're right, but we ain't going to listen to you because you got a habit of taking on accountabilities and responsibilities, knowing what the presumed form of payment is, and then acting like you don't have it when the time comes. I don't think they respect them type of people.
Right. Because it's really about precedent. What precedent have you set? Have you set a precedent that lends to a certain status or otherwise? Because if you've shown behaviors in your life that show that you existing under a corporate status, then you're probably going to be treated as such, above and beyond your words. Let's let up Nachiketa. Nachiketa, welcome to the stream, dude.
What's up, Nach?
What's going on? I'm here to just be a witness to the conversation. So you guys go right ahead.
Fair enough, Nach. Fair enough.
Unless someone wants to bring something up, I would love to share the time that I learned of a discharging of debt that I don't think was immoral, but more of a clerical technicality, and I was happy for the person. Do you want to hear that one?
Yeah, right on. Okay,
so this is with Discover, and he had a $10,000 bill, and he sent in a letter with a $1,000 check, and he said, I am sending in $1,000 to cover my entire debt with Discover. And I hope that I'm just doing this, I'm paraphrasing. I hope that you'll accept the check for the whole entire balance because I've had a financial hardship and thank you so much, right? So they could have sent the check back and been like, no, you owe $10,000. We're not going to accept $1,000. But the person applied the $1,000 to his account. And so then it ended up back with this back and forth affidavit all the way up to the CEO. And finally, it just went back to zero and they closed his account. But remember, they closed the account. So I feel like, that doesn't fall into
they accepted the money because by accepting the money was a tacit exception of the deal.
Right.
It's
And the
basically what it
corporations do that
is.
to us all the time. So he did it to them for a change because of their, ignorance. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. But again, it's like straddling that line of morality and whether it's because like the idea of not actually having to pay for $10,000 I spent is crazy to me.
Hold on, Rose. Let me kind of manage this. Mitch, are you there, dude? You came up here with the swiftness, Mitch. I want to give you an opportunity to talk.
I'm just letting them cook a little bit. But yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What's on your mind, Mitch? What do you got for us today?
Nothing in particular. I'm just getting caught up on the grift here.
Well, because everybody noticed when Paul kind of came on, you got very active in the chat, and you haven't come up in a while. As soon as Paul came on,
I just woke up. Honestly, I'm catching up with the conversation.
Yeah, you just woke up and you're here to characterize me as a grifter again. Well, what else is new?
Yeah, you are a fraud and a grifter. So if you want evidence of that, then we can have a conversation.
We're over it again. I don't offer anything. I don't promise anything. I don't sell any of my documents.
I didn't say that. I think the government's done some good. I think churches have done some good. I think you've done some good.
How am I frauding and grifting? What am I promising that people are not getting?
You're promising truth and you're giving them lies.
That's a subjective claim. Could you prove it now? Could you prove one thing that I've lied about objectively, please?
Yeah, you lied about a lot of things yesterday. I thought so. I can't pull. Yeah, basically you're relying on me constantly. You lie on my situation. You lie on my name to make yourself look better.
So because I perceive you as a broke bitch who's shown me nothing other than a broken hoe status, that's a lie because I'm presuming and perceiving the way that God gave me discernment. You've not rebutted it. You've not provided evidence to the contrary, but yet I'm lying.
You're right. I haven't rebutted your false claims. Right? It's not the fact that you manipulated the conversation to get what you wanted out of it, right?
What did I get out of it? I wanted to leave. I don't owe you anything.
You got money and entertainment out of it, right? And now you're playing the victim.
That's voluntary. If folks want to contribute that and we want to create that, that's our voluntary choice to do so. Why are you so angry about us getting what we want in life? Wouldn't you like to get what you want?
Taxes are voluntary too. Why are you so angry about people paying taxes?
Everyone else's life is like that. You could get
taxes are voluntary. Why are you so angry about people paying taxes?
Who said I'm angry about people paying taxes?
Why do you talk down on them and talk shit on them?
I don't. I said you're voluntarily choosing to opt into a contract, in which case you can't say taxes are unlawful because you're agreeing to the obligation. It's quite the opposite of what you just said. Not only am I not mad at it, I support all the slaves voluntarily opting in to pay taxes so I can enjoy the benefits and privileges.
So why do you talk shit on my slave job and say that, I hate my job, I hate my life, I hate all of this?
Because every time you show up, you're perceived as someone who hates themselves, hates their life, has nothing redeemable going on, and has no real purpose and meaning except someone else.
I can say the same about you. All you do is come to the internet every day and bitch about how big of a victim you are so you can get more money. So you can sell your pity to poor little fucking middle-aged women who feel bad for you. And your fucking poor, pitiful me story that you've been a victim your whole life. You fucking lied about your dad buying you your trailer at 34 years old. You lied about living with a woman that you claim to take care of.
I'm going to go soon. I'm not going to let you filibuster.
Right, I know. If I got to let you filibuster, but you won't let me talk, right? Imagine that. Rules for thee, but not
You
for
don't
me.
pay taxes because you want to support the system and you're such a good citizen. You pay them because you're a punk ass bitch who's scared to say no and don't know how
When
to
was
fill
the
out
last
the
time I
paperwork.
paid taxes, Paul?
Well, so
Hold
then
on, let
if
me
you're
bring
not
clarity.
paying them, if you're
Hold
not
on.
paying them, why are you
When
claiming
was
to
the
pay
last
them?
time you claimed I am paying them? So when was the
Try.
last time I
You
paid
just said, hey,
taxes?
the kid's
When was the
mentally ill.
last
You
time
want
I
to take
paid
over? It's
taxes?
too early for this.
You pay taxes this month. Guaranteed it.
Mitch. All right, so you're kind of scattergunning claims and things. Have you taken the time to try to get to the root of your feelings towards Paul, Mitch? Have you explored yourself internally? What is it really then? What do you really think your issue is? Because it's not just with Paul, it's with a lot of creators. It just happens to be Paul now. I didn't know you and Paul had something
My
last night.
issue is with
but
Paul,
I noticed you piped up
and a
real
lot
early.
of people claiming to be talking truth, to be telling people truth, be truth tellers or whatever, be truthers, and yet they're spreading out deceit and lies, misinformation, disinformation, and who's benefiting from it?
Hold
You do the
on.
math.
Let's take it one step at a time. First of all, I don't know that people are claiming to be truthers and claiming to give truth. It just might be people
Rose, you weren't here
speaking.
claiming to be a truther yesterday. Paul, you don't claim to be a truther. You don't claim to be the truth in the way.
I don't think I've ever heard Paul use the term truther and associated with himself one time. I've never heard him say it. He kind of actually distances himself from the term, dude. But that's besides the point. Let me bring this point up. Okay.
Regardless of the term.
Right. So here's the thing. Let's
you
even
know
just
what the term means, right? You know what a truther is. You know what a truther is relative to this community, right?
No, but we can
You
assume
consider
that.
yourself a truther. Paul considers himself a truther. Rose considers herself a truther.
You don't know that, Mitch.
Why
You
didn't
don't
you
know
give any
that.
pushback on the word truther
Mitch,
yesterday
you don't-
when Rose was
No, I
talking
don't.
about
I don't
here
consider
yesterday?
myself that. You're
Mitch.
Yeah,
lying.
bullshit. You say that you speak objective truth.
Here's the thing, Mitch. Okay.
As I perceive it. If I'm
As
incorrect,
I
rebut it.
perceive it, exactly. That's your
Right.
cop-out. That's how
How's
you
it a
avoid any
cop-out?
accountability. That's how you can come up here and spread lies and say that it's how I perceive it.
Why do you care about what people on the internet say about you unless your whole life's on the internet?
I don't care. You can say whatever you want about me.
Okay,
It's
so
just
then we
makes
have no
you
problem. Thank
dishonest.
you.
That's why I'm up here, to let you show your dishonesty.
All right, so hold on. Mitch, I know when you get like this, it's hard to slow down. I can understand, but look.
Hey, I'm cool, but you're gonna let me get through a thought process or fucking continue to try and shut me down. It don't matter. I'm gonna get through a thought process whether you like it or not.
All right. Well, I left you and Paul up by yourselves for like minutes on end, dude. You guys just you kind of just. Here's the thing, Mitch. All right, let's accept it. Okay, that let's just for the sake of argument accept that we're truthers. Now, is it possible that maybe you just disagree on what truth is? #truth. Does that mean people are defrauding people? So is Paul, is Rose, are we all acting out of some type of deceit? Maybe we just disagree with you on certain ideologies. Why does that
what
make
do you
us
disagree
deceitful
with
or
me on?
charlatans?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I love disagreements. What do you disagree with me on? Maybe. So let's talk about it.
Well, I'm sure people could disagree on a number of topics, Mitch, but my
Like
point
what?
is it doesn't
What do you
make them
disagree with me on?
charlatans.
You also agree with me on a lot of things too. So
very likely.
I disagree with you on how you perceive a man is supposed to present himself. You act like a punk ass bitch little boy, and you talk a whole bunch of shit on here that you ain't gonna stand on in real life.
Oh, how ironic. How ironic, Paul. You're the one who threatened me with violence, said that you needed your gun because I offered to buy you a cup of coffee to prove that you're a little bitch who won't do this shit face to face. You're a tough guy on the fucking internet, and you're a fraud. This isn't who you really are. This is who you want to be perceived as.
So do you want to come meet me? You're 2 hours from me. Yeah. When I'm back over there on the land, you can come meet me. I'll live stream it, call
I've
you
been telling you for over a year. I will meet up with you and prove that you're a fucking punk ass coward any day.
Okay, so then why are we already established this last night? Why are we still on this? I told you when I get back there, you'll come meet me. We'll live stream and I'll put my arm around you, call you a
pushing
punk
out
ass
fraudulent
bitch, and you'll do nothing
claims
about it
for your benefit.
That's not
using
violent.
my name.
I'm allowed to say you're a punk ass bitch and then put my arm around you like your daddy.
Yeah, you can say I'm a punk ass bitch
There's
all you
nothing wrong with
want.
that.
You're not gonna
You
fucking
don't
put
know
your
you
arm
are,
around me and
bro.
touch me because you're not my fucking daddy. You're my little
You ain't
bitch,
a
my little
man.
chew toy.
You ain't a man. The police know you ain't a man the way you carry yourself. The people
Now
online
tell
know
the
you're the
people
man, the way
about.
you carry yourself.
Now tell
You're a
people
punk
about my
ass bitch in your
situation with the
feelers
police. Tell
constantly.
people about my health
7 in the
situation.
morning, you're in your
Tell
feelers,
people about my
pacing.
work situation. Tell people about my
Mitch,
jobs,
hold on,
my
Mitchell.
taxes. Tell people like you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Mitchell,
Yeah.
dude.
What up? What up?
Here's the thing, dude. Now, regardless of whatever the situation is, that honestly I can't even really follow, nor do I kind of even want to put the mental energy towards it. But I will say this, dude.
That's part of his game plan.
Hold on, Mitch. You know, you're up here and you're really in your emotions, dude. You're barking like, is there not? Could you not present
How
yourself
am I more in my
differently?
emotions than he is?
But
right?
that doesn't matter what he's doing. Whatever, regardless
Okay,
of what
well,
your feelings are, you are only in control of your own emotions, dude. So
yeah,
you're
and
here, bro.
my emotions aren't hurting anybody. I'm not using my emotions to
saying
put
they
out
are.
deceit, lies, misinformation, or make money off of these fucking lies.
It's just, Mitch, is that when you come up, instead of having a conversation, you kick right into a certain attack mode, man. And
I'm not trying to figure out how to get people to avoid their debt using financial hardship fucking excuses. You know?
Okay. I only see one guy up here that was trying to do that, man. OTW, man. What? Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing.
Do.
All right. But my point is, Mitch, isn't it? Could there
So
not be
I
a better
came up
way to
here and tried
present
to get
yourself?
people out of their hardships, or did I say the opposite?
Right. Seemed like the opposite. I don't know. Maybe I fucking heard it wrong, dude. Paul, I don't know.
Yeah, it
seemed
was
like you
exactly
were.
the opposite. He's the punk ass pussy who goes around sucking Chris Hauser's dick online, who went to prison. He's the fraud.
Yeah. Chris Hauser sucking his dick. What have I said to suck his dick? All I've done is mention him to talk about truth because Chris Hauser is a fucking living truth, right? And he went to prison.
Oh, I see. I see.
So why don't you talk about why he went to prison and for what, and the fact that it got overturned in the Supreme Court?
Right. So, like, because Supreme Court is like now.
Yeah.
The
Where did Rose learn about this
whether-
conditional acceptance? I guarantee you, she learned about conditional acceptance from Christopher Hauser.
No, I learned it from Cal Washington. Check out episode 148. This is why I love the fact that everything that I research is on the record, because you can go back
What's the
years.
difference who everyone learned everything from? It's the same law and the same contractual understanding. It's common fucking sense. If something is given, you have terms you can accept it under. You have to learn that from someone. Like if I say I'm gonna, come on the broadcast and there's a conditions given, we accept that. We can't figure that out. We need Christopher Hauser for that. 40 years into a fucking movement at least.
Yeah, obviously a lot of people need Christopher Hauser and his explanation of conditional acceptance. It's helping a lot of
nobody
people.
really even needs any of us on here. They need to get a mind, a heart, and some fucking balls and courage and do what's true and what's right.
Yeah,
How about
Christopher Hauser gets rid of
Yeah,
all
you're
you
one of them.
gurus
Get on it.
because he speaks truth and he doesn't charge you for it.
that? He doesn't charge you for it. I know for a fact that they're online privately giving away packets for money. The same people that asked me to do it. I don't charge anybody for anything.
Christopher
You're
Hauser
lying
is?
again.
Is
You're
Christopher
lying
Hauser doing
again.
that, or is that another
You're lying
deflection with your
again.
misinformation,
All them people
your lies,
privately
and your
offer
deceit
services.
to
You're
paint a
lying
fucking
again.
fraudulent narrative that benefits
Wait
you?
a second. So I charge for anything that I do or say? Do I charge for anything I do or say?
Yes.
No. So you lied again. I do. Well, what do I charge for exactly?
Yeah, you charged people for fucking yesterday for fake ass tickets to your fucking towel stock.
But that's not grifting off legal and lawful.
It's a grift, non-grift, right?
It's an online event, non-event that people voluntarily contribute for. Are you upset about that? People's personal choice and freedom to contribute?
No, that's not what I'm upset about. I'm not upset about people contributing. I'm upset about how you get people
So
to
you
contribute.
lied again. I didn't
with
charge
your
anyone
lies,
for truth.
with your deceit.
So you lied again. I
with
didn't
your
charge anyone
fraudulent
for
claims.
truth. I opened an event,
all for your
non-event online,
benefit.
and people contributed to make that happen. That's not charging for truth. You're lying again. You're mentally ill.
All right, here's the deal. Hold on, everybody. I'm sure we can go on forever. Let's wind it down. OTW and I have to do our segment. Come on, OTW. Just get 3 things canned real quick. I'm going to put you in the back so we can bring you up. Everybody, give your final thoughts if you'd like. It was a pleasure having everybody here. We got Pauly Boy this morning up early. And we had Rose, Nachiketa. Who else was up? Bunch of people. Party Poet 66. You kicked off a lot this morning, dude. You had a lot of controversy, depending on your thing. I kind of like Mitch. It's interesting, dude. The people, Mitch. I'm gonna say this, dude, and then I'll give you a chance to speak, and then give your final thoughts. It's interesting the people that you're defending, Mitch, and then the ones that you're basically going against, the ones that you're kind of choosing to align yourself with, and then the others. I just think it's interesting, dude, because like this Hauser guy, you're claiming he has no financial benefit, but I could pretty much bet if we looked into his history,
Let's look
you'd
into
find
it.
that he's probably
wrong.
monetized somewhere, dude. I don't know.
You're wrong.
You might be right,
Let's look
Mitch.
into it. But he ruins all of these fucking gurus and their rap. And that's why fucking they won't talk about him.
Is that why Christopher Hauser reached out to me privately and told me to come over there and work
I'm
with him?
sure he did. Just like the Rothschilds reached out to Aaron. You're a fucking fraud. Show it. Show the evidence. You fucking lying ass fraud.
Upset that all of
Show
his
the
favorite
evidence.
gurus have reached out to
Show
me
the evidence.
privately because they want
Otherwise,
to
you're
work
just a
with me.
false claiming fraud.
Right.
Infidel fraud.
Because I need to lie about some
Show
bozo
it.
who
Yeah,
uses
obviously
paperwork
you
to be a
do.
man, right?
Or you would
Because I need
show
to
the
lie about
evidence.
Everybody
Show the
breathe.
evidence.
Mitch, any final thoughts, Mitchell?
I'm his daddy. That's the
I'm
final
defending
thought.
people
I've
like
always been
Christopher
his daddy.
Hauser. I'm defending things like the American Republic,
Hey,
right? Things that
fucknut,
these
why don't
guys
you reach out to
refuse
all
to
the
talk
people?
about because they get rid
Turn
of their
the slave
guru
down for a
crap.
second, please.
And that's
Hey, fucknut, why don't you reach out to the hundreds of people who talk to me privately and I gave hours of my time to that asked to pay me that I said I didn't want nothing for it, that then gave a donation because they didn't want to use up all my fucking time. Don't tell me about grifting.
now. What does this have to do with Christopher Hauser and him taking money or
Go
whatever?
ask him
Allegedly?
about Paulie Boy, everybody's daddy online that nobody talks about publicly. Go ask him.
So Christopher
See what he
Hauser
says.
reached out to you privately.
Go
Why?
ask him, fuckface, and see
So
what he
Mitch,
says.
Here's the thing. Paul just said that this man reached out to him. Now, likely some cog disc kicked in your mind where you don't want to believe it. But why won't you believe
I
it? Do
won't
you
believe
think
it
Paul
until I
has it?
see evidence. I don't take his word for
You don't,
shit.
because
Like
you don't want to believe it, dude. You don't
No,
want
I
to
do.
believe it.
I do
it's
want to
not
believe
like-
it. It's just
I mean, it's not like
unrealistic. And if it
three-quarters
was
of the-
true,
it's
why
not
would we
like
sit here and argue
three-quarters-
about it and conjecture over it? Why wouldn't he
not
just
like-
show the evidence?
It's not like 3/4 of the truther and law community reached out to me, right?
Yeah, everybody wants
Right?
you, right?
It's
Christopher
not like
Hauser
Rose
needs
and
you.
Crow and
What
all
do
them
you
haven't
have
reached
to
out
offer
to me.
Christopher
Mitch,
Hauser?
much
Why would
love,
he reach
Mitch.
out to you?
I gave you a chance for your final thoughts, Mitch, and I gave you a chance for your final thoughts, bro. But I don't know. See, that's where cog disc kicks in. And in panel, you can take it away. Is that see, Mitch has a story in his mind that this Hauser guy's good guy, Paul's bad guy. Paul says this Hauser guy reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him. Mitch, when presented with that information, chooses to reject it. And I wonder, Mitch, if there'd be any level of evidence that Paul could provide that could change your mind. It's the definition of cog dis. Rose, your thoughts, Paul, Notch, and then we're going to move on.
I got it on Telegram. I can look for this slave. I've done this with people over and over again. You think I need to make a statement? And then if that's the case, if I go look for it and I'm mistaken, there's so many of these people. If I'm mistaken, I'll cop to that. But it's a pretty well-known channel. A lot of folks have told me about it. I've been in there from time to time, and I'm almost positive I had a private discussion with him very briefly about coming in there and doesn't he do a broadcast?
Not for a
Beats
long
the shit
time.
out of me. Yeah, beats the shit out of me, man.
Well, I'll look into it. Just in case I'm mistaken, I'll look into it and I'll report the findings. But I'm almost positive either him or somebody from that channel told me they wanted me to be a part of what they're doing over there, as many of them have.
Right on.
I just wonder what kind of energy like Mitch wants to bring in here. Like, and I mean, I've heard him speak with Paul yesterday. I was just kind of sitting in the back and just listening in. And Mitch and I and Snafu, we had a conversation over at Sean's channel. And I felt like we had a pretty decent conversation for the most part. I know, Mitch, you think that everybody's grifting because they're selling quote unquote the truth, but I don't know who made you the arbiter of truth and what have you contributed to the truth community. I have no idea, and I'm really not respecting this energy that you're bringing in. I don't resonate with it at all. But if that's what you're going to be doing, then so be it.
Okay, I
Mitch.
just want to give my final thought about Christopher Hauser, which is I care very much for him. I think he's a good person who really, really wants to help people. I think that he observed certain successes with certain paperwork. And so he's very excited about that and he wants to help more people, but he doesn't realize that there could be a consequence in the future, like what happened to Winston Shrout, which anyone could look up. It was pretty much the same thing. And it does seem like they wrangle people up. And so even though I really care for Christopher Hauser and I think he's a good person with good intentions, what I'm questioning is whether or not this freaking agent from the Treasury Department is being truthful. And if he really is intending on working with Christopher Hauser to do anything that would be helpful to anyone or any kind of change to this so-called system. So that's all I'm questioning. And I just don't want Christopher Hauser to be tricked, but it seems like he's going to do whatever this Treasury Department person tells him to. So that's it. And I do care very much.
Too bad it doesn't add up.
Well, it doesn't matter what you think because I talked to Chris.
It doesn't matter what you think. So
shit what you think.
Nobody cares what you think, Mitch.
Right. Nobody.
You're a
Nobody
fucking
cares
bitch.
because you speak for everybody.
Yeah, you don't speak for anybody either, you fucking
That's why I
fuckface.
do what I do. Right? Not for money, not to fucking be this nice guy that fucking play the cool kid and get more donations.
Shut the fuck up, Mitch.
Right.
Yeah,
Does anybody
right,
else look
right.
when Nachiketa gets pissed off? It's funny to me. All right, everybody, get the fuck out of here. Paul, it was good seeing you again, man. We'll talk soon, bro.
Later, Z.
We'll talk soon, brother. Much love, everybody. Rose, Notch.
Yeah. Much love,
all
man.
you guys. Much love. Mitch, much love to you, homie. Take it easy, Mitch. Not everybody's your fucking enemy, dude. You know what I'm saying, bro? Not everybody has to, we don't have to all, be at each other's throats all the time. I mean, I get it. We need discourse. It gets lively sometimes. Maybe we should all take it easy on each other. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Either way, let's move on. For some people, Pat, this is their favorite fucking segment. We'll do a quick one this morning, Pat. We'll get on with it. And then we'll let everybody do their stuff. We had a nice morning. We had good friends here this morning, Patrick. And anyway, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, here to bring us all the headlines from across the Truthiverse and beyond. He's your friend. He's my friend. And we all love him. Welcome back to the stream, OTW News.
OTW! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to OTW Breaking News Alert. Our top story for today is actually related to OTW News. What happened is the whole computer system was pissed on by a cat, and this is why the OTW News Network has been down for 4 days. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are back and up and running again. So this would be the top story. We're back from the attack of the cats, pissing in computers. So yeah, that's pretty much the first story. What do you think?
Well, some members of the audience are saying that if you're reporting on yourself, is it really news? But I do think it is news. So many of you.
It's not every day you hear about some cat pissing in a computer, and I figured it happened to me. Why not make it? The first story.
So how did it happen? Was the cat locked out of its box? What made the cat piss on your fucking thing, dude?
It's I have 5 cats, and I believe there's a territory war going on there. There's a few cats that are not getting along and fighting with each other, and it's just like now I had to separate all the cats and put them in a.
How did you come across so many cats? How did that happen to you in your life, dude?
Oh my God!
Who's bringing all these cats in, dude?
I had 2 cats when I moved into this place for the mice, just to make sure that I didn't have any mice. And then I met this the woman that I'm with now, and she had a cat, and then she brought in 2 more cats, right? So it's like,
gotcha.
There you go. So it created a kind of a war. I don't know. It's like there's only 4 cats out of the 5 that get along. This the last one that came in isn't accepted. And
all right, Patrick.
So
I can go all kinds of places with that, but
I guess you could.
I'll let you. Hopefully, it wasn't too much damage. It didn't set you back too much, dude.
Well, it was actually the upgrade that I had made, so I can get the green screen going and everything. Right? Remember, I had upgraded my computer and everything. well, I had bought a brand new video card and everything, and yeah, actually pissed directly in the video card because the panel of my computer was open because I didn't want it to overheat. And I left the panel open. Now, obviously, I closed the panel; it's not open anymore, and it's like hopefully it won't overheat, but I doubt it anyway. So I don't think it will. So that was it. So and it was on the floor. Now I put it up onto the desk, and it's not on the floor anymore. So I made sure, and I also separated the cats. So anyway, top story.
Ruled by Saturn, which is interesting because he's one of the top Z guys. He really doesn't like you, Patrick. Every morning.
I got a couple of haters over on Paul's channel too, so I'm good.
Comes with territory. All right, Patrick. I mean, you hit us with a riveting first story. Cat pissing on your computer. I can only imagine what the next two stories are going to be. But what do you got for us, bro?
Well, the second story for today is actually the controversy and all the heated discussions that are being had between Paul and all of these panel walkers, if you want to call them that, Snafu, Mitchell, and it's seemingly recurring. And you can even put Jack Talcott into the mix if you want. But yeah, this is that was my story. And I wanted to talk about it, but it happened here. I was like, oh my God, they're bringing the story that I wanted to talk about right live on Z's channel. I was like, man, how lucky can I get,
Because you guys know, I mean, I'm fairly in touch with the metaverse. But Patrick, you're way in touch with the metaverse. You know what I mean? And all I knew was I pop on my stream each morning and like this morning, Snafu came in and he's just looping over and over and over with the same allegations constantly. I just felt like I had to call him out on it. And it led to all this, dude. I didn't expect all these peeps to show up this morning, but it just begs the question, why would one just continue? You know what a smear campaign is, Patrick? It reminds me of a smear campaign, which is a tactic that's used for politics, exploitation and control and deception. Is you smear somebody's name. You just identify somebody who you don't like for whatever reason. You pick a narrative that's going to be sensitive, and then you just proclaim it over and over again from the mountaintop with really no evidence. And I kind of see that from you, Snafu.
Yeah,
and
like
it begs
those
the question, dude. Who's the fucking pogo here, dude?
Yeah, it's like those pedophile apologist hunters. That's what I call them. Where they go out and they, go and do it, create that controversy, come on panel and start asking all kinds of questions and trap you into, saying things that you don't want to say. It's like I've been through it, so I know what I'm talking about. And I've also seen Paul go through it. It's like people have different agendas when they come up on here, and it's just kind of odd to me. I mean, it's like it's supposed to be like all right, somewhat entertaining, right? Why would anyway? I guess it's just because I don't see it in myself to want to go do that. So I have a hard time believing that other people would want to do that. So anyway, it's like an issue with myself, I guess, that I have to reconcile with.
Right on, man. Christos.
Yo. Hey, I won't be long. I know you guys are wrapping up, but I just like to hop up during the OTW segment, as you know. OTW, stay on the lookout because I want to talk with you behind the scenes about some content creation, leaning more towards the memery side of things here with these communities. I got some ideas. Maybe you could implement some of these things that I'm thinking of in your streams in the future. So just be on the lookout because it's been harder to get a hold of you lately.
All right, Christos, this isn't a fucking dating. This isn't a dating line. This isn't like in the old days, Patrick. You remember back, dumbass. What was I gonna say? All right, yeah, you guys want to content create? Is this all you had? Get the fuck out of here, Christos. Damn fucking Zoomers, Gen Z. It's all about me all the time. Let me just use Z Show to communicate with Patrick. Weird. You remember back in the day, Patrick, those dating lines? This is before the fucking internet. Get out of here, Christos. I'm gonna kick you out. Remember before the internet, Patrick, you'd be able to pick up the phone. Like in the early 90s, you'd call a number and you'd be able to like group talk with a bunch of thirsty, horny people. Basically there were these like dating lines and shit. Weird, dude. Anyway, This isn't what this is, Christos. Get a hold of yourself. See, he's newly single now. So he's all excited now. He's going to do stuff with his life. How's that working out for you, Christos, man? You getting any play? Whatever. Who cares? Much love, Christos. Look, just watch the collapse guy. Yeah, watch the collapse. It's good to see you again. It's this guy right here I'm showing, Watch the Collapse podcast. He interviewed Eric Dubay a couple months ago. I saw it. I was like, oh, I remember this Watch the Collapse guy. He was on my show. Now he's interviewing Dubay. What do you think about Eric Dubay, dude? And then we're going to wrap it soon. He's kind of elusive. He really doesn't seem like he wants to be part of the greater flat earth community at all. It looks like he likes his little position as like the flat earth outsider guy. You don't really see him on anybody else's channel. What's your take on Dubay, bro?
I've never actually listened or watched any of his stuff because I didn't trust him personally. I didn't trust. I had a funny feeling that it was. I don't know.
Well,
Even
really?
if he is, yeah, I didn't trust him. I don't know why, man.
I'll do my Dubay impression. He's like this. Hi, 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning globe by
There you go,
Eric
that's why.
Dubay. Proof number 1.
You just reminded me why I couldn't listen to the guy.
Yeah. Rose, it's funny. My Dubay impression sounds like my Lindgren impression. You know, but Eric's more like, I'm going to explain things from the lotus position. 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning globe. I don't know, man. It's weird. He just doesn't want anything to do with like any of the. You don't see him dealing with Jaron. You don't see him dealing with Dave Weiss. None of them. He's like on an island. But the reality is he was kind of one of the forerunners of the whole 2015 wave. Rose says, I was just going to say that. I don't know. Yeah. He's weird. It's weird how he's not fucking associated with him. Green Man was asking the question, is he a shill? I don't think so. You know, we want to say everybody's a shill. I don't think he's a shill. Rose is going to say, I was going to say, never knew Eric Dubay sounds like, oh, Jason. Gotcha. No,
like
I don't know if they
Jason
so. Here's the thing, Rose. I don't know if they so much sound alike, but my impressions of each of them like are basically the same impression. I don't know, whatever. Like here, he just says, Miyagi says, Eric is an agent. You know what I mean? It's just like so easy, Pat, to say everybody's an agent. So
Yeah,
Titanic
exactly.
Warrior's an agent. Guys, you know how many times I've been called an agent? I'm sure OTW's been called an agent. Everybody
been
comes
called
to me
all
and
kinds of things,
everyone's
man.
trying to tell me Paul Unslaved is. They're trying to tell me he's an actor, that he's a fucking Mason. Do you know how many people come and just make claims? Okay, well, was Rose 777 an agent? Do people were trying to tell me OTW? See, I get excited, and then I got to wrap the show. People try to tell me, they try to tell me that Rose 777 is a Jewish agent sent to sabotage me, and then I'm not compromised because I have an affiliation with Rose. This is how these fucking people think. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Our third and most boring story of today is Jason John Swartz doing his daily. Sorry, I'm choking on my own story. Doing his daily bread every day, which is starting to drive me bananas because but this is personal, I guess. But, I do have a thing against people spreading lies. And, this is like what he's doing every morning. So I don't know.
Okay.
This is my
so
third stupid story. I didn't have anything else really.
All right. So a lot of us remember Jason John Swartz. At least many of us do. What's he saying about you, Pat? He's a weird guy, dude. He's
not
goofy
saying
as
much.
fuck.
He's live right now, doing his daily bread, Matthew chapters 16 and 17 plus commentary. He's blocked me from his chat box, so I can't even go comment there anymore. So
right. Let's remember what a Christian Pat, because he's presenting himself. Remember when I said to him, I said, dude, you're just trying to be a fake ass internet Christian pastor. And that's what he's doing. He's doing the whole Christian grift. Right. So this is the guy who's so religious, who's so holy, who respects his temple so much, and he respects God so much. that he took the clot shot to keep his job and admitted it to everybody. That same guy, right? The one who just submitted to medical tyranny and basically turned his holy temple into an abomination in front of God, the creator, and everybody else to keep his shekels. That Christian, right?
Yeah, him.
Forgot it. Yeah,
That one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Same guy. So those are the top 3 stories for today.
Patrick's, yeah, everybody's an agent, Notch. Apparently, Notch Akeda's an agent. It just seems like anybody who comes
He's an open
online
agent.
and gets like more than like 100 subscribers is apparently an agent. It's fucking weird. We're all just agents. I don't know. Patrick, I'm contemplating broadcasting weekday mornings only, not doing the weekend mornings. Your thoughts?
How do you feel about it? What do you want?
That I think I want that.
All right. So
I want to give
then
people
that's what
time to
you should
miss
do.
me. You know, I want to give people time to miss me, but at the same time, I enjoy this, you know, but I might enjoy it more 5 out of 7 for a number of reasons. How's this? My instinct is telling me just to do weekdays. That's what my instincts are telling me. I don't know.
Here's a suggestion if you want one.
It'll also give me more time to co-create with other creators like Polyboy. Go ahead.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you could also join other panels on the weekends and have more fun. But I was thinking, that you could also take clips from your week shows and make videos for the weekend. So you could premiere one on. So you're still uploading something every single day, so that even the weekend you still get those 2 videos up, but they won't be lives. They'd be actually. You could premiere them and you could participate in chat.
Maybe, but I was more thinking along times of using that weekend time to kind of edit my stuff, pull shorts out, and then be able to like kind of take what I create during the week and then use that to kind of then expand the create, whatever. But all right, Patrick, let's wrap it up. Much love, dude. Any final thoughts?
Nope. Pretty good. Much love to everybody in the chat. Always a pleasure to be here, Z. And I guess we'll see each other again tomorrow. Hopefully.
Yeah, man.
If I don't have another cat piss war.
Keep those cats under control, Patrick. It's hard. These ladies come into our lives and we do things that we normally wouldn't do. Like bring 5 cats into our house that fight with each other over territory and then piss everywhere. But I get it. I understand, Patrick. I'm not going to call you a simp as such because I've proven over the airways, let's just say.
I know what it all means.
Right.
I know what it all means.
Right. My point is, I can't really come down on you for simping if I'm going to simp over Christy Lee dolls every single morning. It probably looks hypocritical in many ways. Much love, Pat. You
Peace.
take care.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, that'll do it for another episode of the Z Show. Much love, everybody. What an exciting morning we had. Got a little loud and boisterous. I mean, we had a lot of people on. I guess when you have a morning where you have both Snafu and Mitch on. You know, it's funny, guys. There was a full moon the other night, like 2 or 3 days ago. So that might have been full moon, Mitch. I don't know. Either way, much love, everybody. We're over time, so let's wrap it. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Take care of yourselves and each other.